The opinions expressed of this show are for entertainment purposes and should not be misconstrued or interpreted as fact. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
Introducing PubCoin. PubCoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into PubCoins. PubCoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. pubsportsradio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys soon.
Your membership to Gold, you will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses. We are racing camels today.
Shout out to the Gold members. We're racing in San Antonio immediately here. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Matt Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass. Oldie, no! There he goes. There he goes. Oldie in the lead now. K. Wolf falls back. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. Here. Oh, look at Nussflush Allen bursting out here. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy.
Oh my goodness, he's in the mix here. Jimmy, take it home. This is our first dog race ever.
19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Can. Kenny Can wants a piece of the pie. Put his schnoz up front. Ricky Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make a run? Can Res Mall make a run to be $50?
You son of a bitch!
Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Can Smoking Mirrors. Director 97 home. That is the way. Here comes Jason Meyer, the Eldorado Custodian. Billy Friedrich. Jones one. They're all coming down the advantage.
Coin! Nowhere!
Oh no! Fanatical Jim!
One, two, yeah. The Loshak, yeah. 1, 2, Sports Radio. Sports Radio. Started from the cloth of Peter Loshak. Legendary sports handicapper, more dapper than a Dom. While the young phenom, known as Jimmy, who declared one day that the bag was here to stay. Information like a PSA, when we all PSR, Pub Sports Radio, bizarre. Is a man named Slaughter and he flipped the script. No competition in this they quit the trip. But we say we be pubbing. Better with the bag and you love it. You want a top 10, we above it. Let's check.
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Tuesday, July 29th to all of you. Thank you for watching Loshak in the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. Very frustrating end to the evening last night. Was checking the Red Sox and Twins, X accounts and beat writers wanting very angry about them, pulling out the tarp before the bottom of the ninth with the Red Sox closer warmed up. That made me angry. And then I wanted the game to come back on badly. And I checked like an addict. I checked over and over and over and over again. Game comes back on. And sometimes sometimes you get what you want and it doesn't work out for you. Red Sox lose. That cost me my 6th straight winning day. I go 2-2 on the day, but I lose a little bit of vig. Very aggravating, very upsetting, very, very aggravating. So then, of course, I handle the losses like a lot of you. I stare at the ceiling for 3 hours, and I don't know why. I mean, I didn't need to. Everything is moving in the right direction. Great to see all of you guys. I'm very happy to be back in business with you. I'm ready to attack this board. We got Justin McKelvey in the house. Dax play today, number 1. The Valkyries +8. So I've got still work to do, but I've cashed 7 straight winners in the WNBA, and what I've started to put together, and it's a difficult thing to explain because you don't want to say negative things about the players, but it seems as if when there is an injury to their team, they crumble. They crumble. A lot of the things that I've utilized in the NBA, I can't use in the WNBA. So the fact that, and so I've just been hammering these teams when they're down, when they're missing a star player, hammering against them, fading them, and not trying to be tricky and sneaky like the NBA forces me to do. So I am surprised, Justin, that you are backing the Valkyries. Now, situationally, I get it, completely understand it. Situationally, it makes enormous sense. You have the Valkyries coming off losing by 31 at Connecticut, the worst team in the WNBA. And, I was on Connecticut because it was their second game without Kayla Thornton. And you have the Dream coming off snapping the Lynx 14-game home winning streak. If this was the NBA, I would be on the Valkyries. But it's not. It's the WNBA. That doesn't mean, maybe you'll get me off the Dream. I want, one thing here, you guys, is I want to bet the Mystics now. I would have bet it at 6.5. It's now 7.5. I would have bet it right away. The thing is, I was just wondering if I could get a better line if Angel Reese was going to play, and it's going to point against me. I feel like I should move on that right now. So a lot to talk about. We have MLB action popping off in 28 minutes. Game 1 of the Jays Orioles double dip. It's great to see you guys. It's also great to see my partner in crime, man. I would not be in this seat if it wasn't for my co-host on this show. We are all cut from his cloth. Please welcome from Brooklyn, Mr. Peter Loshak, to the show. Petro, what's good, man? How are you?
I'm doing all right. World's getting crazy, man. World's getting crazy.
Yeah.
If you think it's crazy now, wait till 2027. I want to see the look on your face in 2027, baby.
In 2027, when we have no Major League Baseball season?
When we have no anything, really, except for fucking trillionaire sociopaths and whacked out people desperately trying to, I don't know, no, I'm kidding around. I don't know. Yeah, the world is getting crazy. I don't know what's going to come on 2027, but, there will always be baseball. That's the beautiful thing.
No, there won't. It looks like there will be a lockout in 2027.
What are you talking?
It looks like we're going to war with Manfred, man.
I don't believe it for a say?
Well, I like
Really?
your
What's going on?
positivity mixed in with negativity. A little, you have a little bit of positivity mixed in with the sad portrayal of our future, Peter.
Between now and 2027, they won't be able to work it out?
No, because it's the same deal. Manfred wants the salary cap.
All right. You'll just go to the fucking chat GPT mediation. What deal should we make? And they'll take it and like it.
Well, I certainly do want badly. I certainly do want badly there to be a season, of course. So we will see.
It'll happen.
Oh, Justin, I get it. I get it. See, Dream coming off 6-game road trip, first leg of a back-to-back, heading on the road tomorrow. Look, I get it. It's just what I've learned from the WNBA is that they fold.
Deacon Mike, yeah. In 2027, it's not going to be 3 locks here. It's going to be 7, baby. You're right. Yeah, Deacon Mike.
It is great to see all of you guys. I'm copying and pasting action here in the chat. We got Gorky in the house. Gorky, great call on the Hamilton Tiger Cats, my friend. Was glad that you got that cash there. We got Swiggy in the house. Slow Jams Arsenal ready to get to work. Leo Leon on the Mets. Also, Justin McKelvey on the Phillies White Sox over 9 because no team hits lefties. Major League Baseball over the last 30 days as hard as your Chicago White Sox. Blue Jays money line for the early game for Slow Jams here. Irish King ready to get to work. We got Jermaine Spooner. Says rest in peace to Ryan Sandberg, a legend of a man, the Rhino. He it's interesting. He probably embodies everything that's great about sports and great about baseball in one man, an absolute legend. We'll discuss more, talk more about Ryan Sandberg because everything
that was great about baseball card collecting in the early 80s. That's for damn sure.
Oh yeah, I actually have a Rhino rookie, but
I do too, baby.
It's not as valuable as it should be.
I know.
But Rhino, even handling pancreatic cancer, which my grandfather died of pancreatic cancer. Our friend Tim Steves died of pancreatic cancer. It's a death sentence. You're lucky to make it a year. You probably won't make it 6 months. And he handled it just like he's handled everything. With strength and poise, and a great man, a great baseball man was lost to Rhino. We'll talk more about that when we introduce the Chicago Cubs game. But I can understand Cubs fans feeling it. It's funny. I sent a message to Spooner saying that it's sad watching our heroes die as we age. We lose our heroes, and then I realized. Then I start thinking, well, who's my hero? I don't have
my hero. My first person comes to mind is Nut Flush Allen. Second one, Troy Torrance. Third, DJ Big Boss.
You got some solid heroes, man.
Yeah.
I like your group.
Wine Time Sports.
Yeah,
Second tier would be like Deacon Mike. That would be first tier.
Well, I was devoid. I lacked the ability could not come up with a goddamn hero myself here.
Dan Kelly.
Oh yeah. Oh, speaking of all of this. Oh, my man Nilo in the house. Great to see you, Nilo. Great friend of the channel. Speaking of this, this isn't the time of year for everybody. Now, not everybody loves baseball the way we do. And and sometimes you need a break. One of our best cappers in the chat, Billy Friedrich, is on a break right now. He's on a hiatus. The pig milk play of the day last year was absolutely spectacular, Peter. And we have now put something together for our friend Billy Friedrich. And this is the debut of the intro for the pig milk play of the day. The debut right here on Pub Sports Radio. What do you think, Pete? What do you think?
It's great. It's beautiful.
Yeah. There is for Billy Friedrich, star of the Pig Milk Play of the Day. We got Spooner in the house, Nilo, Leo, Leon, Jermaine, Robert McCormack, Wine Time Sports, Jason Meyer, the El Dorado, Custodian, Walla Walla Does, Lil Domo. Great group. AM ready to get to work. Beavis ready to eat. Spencer Hicks. This is OG Lowbagger in the house. Deacon Mike in the house. 9 Legacy Flank Steak. Play of the day. Flank Steak. Play of the day is the New York Yankees. The New York Yankees. Let's get that copied and pasted. We got to get right to work, though. We have first pitch popping off in Charm City, home of our friend Von Polo, in 22 minutes. We got Goon Collector in the house. Ronnie Lofton ready to get to work. Fernando Mendoza. Goon Collector is a hometown guy, also from Brooklyn. Old E ready to get to work. AOD in the house. It is great to see you, AOD. Matty Ice, what a call. Taint play today yesterday. Baltimore Orioles taking care of business. TJ ready to go. Okay, great intro, says Christopher Carter. What do you guys think? Talk to us. Tell us what you think of the okay, we're getting some look, let's get some positivity. There we go. Timmy Two Shoes in the house, says Mullins, Cedric Mullins on fire. Christopher Carter, Robert Cherry. Wine Time is on the Diamondbacks plus 165. Deacon has 60 Rhino rookies. 60 Rhino rookies. Mr. Belvedere Nationals plus 123 in the house. It's great to see all of you guys. Let me make sure I've got all this. Beavis saying White Sox are fire. Spooner, Cubbies, Royals, and Tigers. Let me just copy and paste a couple more spots here, and then we will get to work. Peter, how was your weekend? You ready to get after it?
Yeah, it was in East Hampton. It was fine. It was lovely.
Wow. East Hampton. What were you doing out there? Were you foraging for mushrooms?
I was summering. What else do you do in the summer in East Hampton?
Forage for mushrooms.
My favorite, though, is Shelter Island. It's not so. It's just not so on the nose.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about, man.
You never heard of East Hampton, Jim?
No, I've heard of the Hamptons.
Yeah,
I've heard of the Hamptons.
Like a little bit north. Go to East Hampton. It's literally like literally Prada store, Gucci store, Louis Vuitton store, and then like a shopping strip.
This is being your most boring story.
I mean, they have the rich people are bored. There's nothing to say. They're rich. That's it. That's the entire story.
Isaiah Scurry in the house. Robert Cherry ready to get to work. Nasty Nate. All right, so we got some positivity. Penny just moved to 9.5 in the game one. Wow. And we have our guy AM on that under 10.5. Noel 207. We got Nice ready to get to work. Great to see all of you guys. Well, let's do exactly that. Let's get after it. Von Polo in the house. Von Polo's new show popping off very soon here on Pub Culture TV. Let's get to work. Nasty Nate says, was that a wood or wouldn't? Shout out to our friend Billy Friedrich. Taking a little break right now, but this has got to get him back, right, Pete? This has got to get him back. Now, Pete, what do you think of the? So I love the cut. Do you think that the music is appropriate? Do you want something heavier, lighter? Let's watch it one more time. Let's get some notes here from you guys. How we can improve.
I was capping the Orioles game while you were playing it. So.
Okay, let's check it out one last time. Check it out. I love it.
I mean, it's very avant-garde. It's very European. It's the most European flavored of all of our intros. That's for sure.
Oh man. Let's roll. Let's roll here, fellas. Let's roll. Music is perfect, says Justin McKelvey. I like it. Gross and beautiful, says Christopher Carter. Nice Nate said we just lost 13 viewers. Look, I enjoyed sending the videos to Jose, and he put it together beautifully.
Yeah, we just lost 13 viewers now. Long term, we'll see what that does to viewership. I bet you it goes up. A little bit.
Let's go here. Let's roll. Let's roll. 12:35 p.m. Eastern. We have game one of the double dip. Toronto Blue Jays 19 games above 500, but 1 game under 500 on the road at the Baltimore Orioles, 48-58, 25-26 at home. We're in Camden Yards, Charm City. Let's take a look at the weather here to get us started. Let me just refresh Swish because I've had it up here for a while. Let's do a refresher, Peter, and let's get to work, man. Let's get this money. We have 96 Fahrenheit. Feels like 103. And it just gets hotter as the game goes on. After a couple hours, it's 99. Feels like 105. Opens up 1.8 miles per hour to left center. Gets up to 2.7. It is not the wind that's making this offensive. But it's not as big as you would think. Plus 11% overall, plus 11% homers, plus 8% doubles and triples, and plus 6% singles. Let's get into this. Easton Lucas, first pitch in the major league since May 31st. Then he had an 8-7 win at home versus the Athletics. He went 4 2/3, 4 hits, didn't allow a run, 3 Ks and 1 walk. He's had 1 start on the road all year long. I was back in May. Was at Fenway. 6-1 win at the Red Sox, 5 1/3, 3 hits, no one runs, 8 Ks, 3 walks. Lefties, he's a lefty. He shuts down lefties. Righties get after him. Irish King says no Springer. AM says both games go under today. Bat's going to go cold today. TJ says, is anyone here at Chucky Morton Whisper? What do we expect? Charlie Morton, 6'8", 5.480. Oh, by the way, righties are hitting Lucas hard. 292, 921 OPS, and the Baltimore Bats have awoken. Coin leaning towards Toronto plus 106. Charlie Morton looked pretty good in his last start. 3 earned runs over 6 2/3. The market indicated that he was going to pitch well, and he did. 5.48 ERA, 1.54 WHIP on the season. He has been quite a bit better at home than he's been on the road. 12 games played, 8 games started. He's allowed 27 earned runs there. 7 home runs he's allowed at home. He's allowed 8 on the road. Lefties hitting 262, 819 against him. Righties 287, 795. Jays are hitting righties harder than any team in Major League Baseball. 314, 881 OPS last 30 days. Orioles 259, 811 against lefties. Jays bullpen 3.78 ERA last 30 days has been pretty good. Orioles bullpen has struggled as per usual. Wine Time says, I can't believe I'm thinking about backing Old Man Morton today. Well, I am also thinking about backing Old Man Morton today, but let's take a look at what we are dealing with. Take a look at the cash flow and the line movement in here from Peter Loshak. Right now, the Baltimore Orioles are minus 113. They opened up at minus 131. The Jays have gone from plus 119 to plus 104. A big move towards Easton Lucas and the Toronto Blue Jays. From a total standpoint, we have a 9.5 on the board. Yes, this opened up at 10.5. We're down a full. Oh, it just got back to 10. Wow. It was a 9.5 for 1 minute, Pete, and got back to 10. Now it's not a real 10. It's minus 115 to the under and plus 102 to the over. But that is absolutely fascinating. And maybe it just moved back to 9.5. Maybe that's what they're implying here. Yes, it just moved back to 9.5 1 minute ago. And it moved back. So we went back to 10 for a quick minute and then a heavy move to the 9.5. Now it's minus 108 to the over and minus 104 to the under. A big, big move. Let's take a look at the cash flow and then hand it over to our Peter Loshak. So Peter here for our first game on the board, first pitch in 14 minutes. When it comes to the cash flow for Lucas versus Morton, no information. I guess it was a lot of waiting on whether we didn't know Lucas was announced until this morning. So there we go. Kong looking at a 10 minus 120 to the under. Peter Loshak, take it away, my friend. Shout out to King Ooh, Kong's Clips, Boss 707. Take it away, Pete.
Yeah, I didn't handicap this game on the overnight because of no lines, and I wouldn't call myself a Morton whisperer, but I do feel like I have a better than 50% read on what's likely. He's very, unpredictable, of course, which means, take dog lines when he's involved. This one, though, I really just have no idea what to expect. I suspect he'll have a good start. That would be my prediction here. And I would be leaning, I guess, Baltimore. But high volatility here for both starters, so I would definitely look for dog lines.
Huh. Interesting.
I mean, when it comes to this kind of extreme heat, I do, if I was betting a lot, I would like to look at how that, if it's possible that is something that has affected a starting pitcher in the past. So I haven't done that for Morton. In most cases, it's not relevant, but in some cases it is.
Yeah, he's handled it well in the past. Let me just see if I can grab some more information on Easton Lucas. I fear Easton Lucas coming back up. He had everything his way when he was in the majors earlier this season and looked spectacular. At Buffalo, he's not being that good. Not being that good. He is pitched in 9 games. He started 7. He's thrown 33 and 2/3 innings, 5.35 ERA, 1.46 WHIP. I'm hesitant. I'm hesitant to make sure I can live bet. I'm hesitant to start with this spot, man. I'm hesitant to get started. AM has this projected at 9.6, so he likes this under 10.5. I think Morton handles this better than Easton Lucas, but I don't know if it's enough. I think this move towards the Jays is going to keep me off. I agree with this move towards the under, but I don't think I want to get involved there either. So I don't think that I make a move on this. Action Jackson is hot as fuck. That's what Action Jackson says. Easton Lucas, been playing in Buffalo. It's not hot there. Born in Thousand Oaks, California. All right. Well, I'm not making a move on game 1. I will cheer you guys on. Boss 707 is on the Orioles. Now, I am interested in live betting this.
Sure.
But other than that, nothing for me. But TJ says Baltimore just got crushed at circa, a 10-cent move at circa.
Yeah.
Baltimore minus 125.
This is one of those games where I was like, I don't know, but free play I put it on Baltimore, and now all these late signs are coming in for Baltimore.
Bob Muffler's, I don't know why 5.3 to 1 odd seems pretty ridiculous. I don't know why that I would have to look into that a little more. Maybe Pete could take some time into that, but that does seem too high a number. Yeah, I'm not going to start my day here. In game 1. I just think there's too many question marks. But I do like Morton here. But the Jays are raking righties. Is it enough for me to pull the trigger? I don't think it is. Redbeard saying Vladdy 6 for 15 versus Morton. Nothing for me here in game 1. Pete, let's talk about game 2. 6:35 p.m. Eastern. Blue Jays, Orioles, Camden Yards, and Baltimore, Maryland. Brandon Young has pretty poor numbers, but I have had some success with him. There's been times where I have trusted him. We have Eric Lauer, who's been spectacular this year, coming off an 11-4 win at the Tigers. He went 8 innings, allowed 1 earned run. It was a solo shot, didn't walk a batter. He's allowed 12 earned runs in 10 games, 6 starts on the road. Lefties, righties, nobody's hitting him. Take a look at the line history. We're not going to get any cash flow, but let's talk about game 2. We have another under here for AM, under 10.5. Back-to-back unders here. We have this total is a 10. We have a 10. It is minus 109 to the over. So we really have had no movement. I mean, this just came out an hour and 45 minutes ago. And then on the money line, we have the Orioles at plus 111. They opened up at plus 112. So very little movement at this point. I think people want to see what happens in game 1. Do you have any interest or expectations for Eric Lauer and Brandon Young? I know we want to see what happens in game 1, but any thoughts there?
No, I don't, but I will definitely be looking hard at the situation in game 2 after game 1 happens.
We're not a lot of exciting content here for you guys on this doubleheader. I do not want to start my day. I mean, for me, it would be only Charlie Morton, but I've been hesitant to fade the Blue Jays, and I should have joined Taint Play today yesterday, fading the Blue Jays. Slow Jam Sarsno said last time O's line moved like that, they beat Cleveland. I was on them. Now, yes, there has been a 10-cent move in game 1 to the Orioles, but please, despite that, keep in mind there's been 6 cents of movement on the offshore that we use for our line shopping, 6 cents of movement, and it's still been a 14-cent move away from them, despite that 6 cents of movement. So, All right, nothing for me here. Bob Muffler's 5th inning result bet just moved 6.1 to 1. That's nuts. That doesn't make sense. Deacon Mike, Toronto's had the most games, 11, scoring over 3.5 runs per game since the All-Star break. Boss 707 says Baltimore is minus 120 now.
Is he talking about after the 5th inning or just for that inning?
I think it would be if the odds are that, it would be a 5th inning result. Wouldn't it be just the 5th?
Just for the 5th inning, he's getting plus 500 on a.
Well, that's why he thinks it's a mistake.
Yeah, it's got to be.
You're right. It makes sense at that, even at that number for it to be drawn, the 5-1 for it to be a tie at the 5th inning. But he says typically an inning by inning draw is 1.4 to 1.9 to 1.
Yeah.
So, TJ says I'm done thinking Lauer turns into a pumpkin. Very likely will be on Toronto game 2, pending bullpen usage in game 1. And wow. Yeah, I've got minus 125 now. So there's certainly been a move towards the Orioles over the last little bit. But I don't know if it's I guess what so here we go. Let me just one final thought here with 6 minutes to first pitch. Baltimore is playing good baseball for the first time all year. They're one game under 500 at home. The Jays are one game under 500 on the road. They're bringing up, Easton Lucas, who looked good a couple times in his starts, but there was a reason why he was, sent down. I don't feel like it's a surprise to me that the Orioles are favored here. I think it makes perfect sense, which makes me not feel like there's an advantage, personally. Fernando Mendoza, Tyler O'Neill, home run at plus 265. That's crazy, Bob. Let's roll on. That's the double dip. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll be able to live bet it. I'll have to go get my phone. I can't believe I didn't bring I thought I did have my phone. It must be just right outside my door, but need my phone to make a quick live bet. Let's roll on, Pete. 6:40 p.m. Eastern with the Arizona Diamondbacks, 51-56, 25-28 on the road at the Detroit Tigers, 62-46, 34-21 at home. Brandon Fott versus Casey Mize here. And D-Trip saying no Springer or Kirk. We know that there's going to be no Kirk. No Kirk, no Springer was expected here in D-Trip because, Springer took the ball in the head. Kirk is on the 7-day concussion list, so that was all pretty expected. WI says just added Nats plus 122. Let's roll here for our next spot in Detroit. Let's take a look at the weather in Detroit. We have 89 Fahrenheit, feels like 94, 4.5 miles per hour in, stays at 4.5 miles per hour. Let's get into what Ballpark Pal thinks of Comerica today. Comerica Park is even, minus 11% homers, minus 4% doubles and triples, and plus 12% singles. Interesting. Then let's get into the line history here. Brandon Fott, Casey Mize, two of my favorite pitchers in Major League Baseball. We have the Diamondbacks at plus 124. They opened up at plus 127. We know that Eugenio Suarez was hit on the hand. He says that he's fine, but I don't expect him to be in the lineup. The X-rays came back negative. The over 8.5 minus 112. There's been a 2-cent move to the over 8.5 and minus 114. And when we get to the board to take a look at the cash flow for this interleague spot, we have 53% of tickets and 70% of the cash on Detroit. 55% of tickets, 86% cash on the over. Market not doing too much there. Robert Frankel on Tigers money line and the under 8.5. Says Diamondbacks bats are cold. AM is on the over 8.5 here for this one. Justin McKelvey is the Tigers minus 136 in his pocket. My guy Brandon Fott on the mound. 10-6, 4.76 ERA, 1.26 whip. Coming off 4-3 loss at home versus the Astros. That game worked out very well for me. I cashed the first 3 under 2.5. I cashed the Diamondbacks first 5, and then he got touched in the 6th inning. We know he's had a problem with tipping his pitches, and I truly believe that when he's not tipping his pitches, he can be trusted. The question is, can you trust him on the road? His splits are fine. On the road, he's allowed 35 earned runs in 10 starts. 14 home runs he's allowed on the road, only 3 at home. Casey Mize, on the other hand, started his post-All-Star break performance poorly. 8-5 loss at the Pirates, 5 runs, 4 earned over 4 innings. At home this year, he's been quite good. 14 earned runs over 7 starts. Diamondbacks are hitting 237-21 versus righties last 30 days. Tigers aren't hitting at all, 223-682. And the Diamondbacks, of all teams, have a huge bullpen advantage over the last 30 days, something that we probably don't trust. Dabby Cab is
Corbin starting, and then the Diamondbacks bullpen backing him up. Whew.
Well,
That's
sorry.
a Pat Corbin joke.
Sorry. Yes, sorry. It took me a second to figure what the hell was going on there.
Sorry about that.
Because I have studied Corbin. Corbin does have a complete game on the road this year.
It's fucking awesome. Yeah.
SF 49er took Blue Jays game 1 and game 2 money line. Dabby Cab is on Vladdy over 1.5 total bases in game 1. Ronnie Loft is on the under 8.5. Says Diamondbacks not interested in scoring at the moment. Wine Time got the Diamondbacks at plus 125. Take it away for us here, Peter. Diamondbacks, Tigers at Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah, do we have any D-backs whisperers here? Because I am not exactly sure what's going on with the D-backs bats. I'm definitely, I said it, I think last show or 2 shows ago or something, I definitely looking to for Mize to be overvalued, going forward in the second half. I did hit the strikeout prop, which was really low. I didn't understand it. 4.5. I got 145. Now it's moved about 15 cents up, but Detroit can hit, but even when they hit, they get a strikeout here or there. I'm not sure what's going on with Arizona. Who's going to give here, Mize versus Arizona? I would love to take a shot with Arizona, like first 5 or something. But, I know that Arizona's in flux because guys might be, but the Detroit line is in flux too. So, I don't know. They're not that bad, Arizona, right? And Mize is vulnerable.
Yeah, I don't know. I was telling you guys 6 weeks ago that Mize just doesn't look like his old self.
Right.
And, it's been coming to fruition. I did think that maybe the break, even though he did pitch an All-Star game, I thought the break would help him. That hasn't been the case.
No, I think he's like maybe a little bit worn down. He had a really nice first half. His career a little bit underwhelming. And I think it's just a little bit, you're right. I think it's just a little bit something a little off.
Ron Lofton says, I made good money on Arizona batter props. First half can't back their bats now.
So you think it's something fundamental with them, their recent struggles?
Yeah, he believes that he can see it in their eyes that the team just let go, completely let go, and I can understand that thought process. Look, as much as anybody, I would like to back Fott first 3 and say that Casey Mize looks poor. I would like to do that. I'd also like to think that Casey Mize will bounce back here at home. Of course, that start was at Pittsburgh. He's only allowed 14 earned runs over 7 starts at home. Most of Casey Mize's season has taken place on the road. He's only walked 7 batters and 7 starts at home. He's been great. 238 opponents batting average. So in that case, I kind of lean towards the first 3 under. But again, neither of those angles I like enough to put my money down on it, to trust enough. And at this point, I don't trust it. I don't want to invest in it. Is there anything you want to invest in here, Peter? Arizona, Detroit, before we move on to the next spot.
My personal money, I did bet the Fott strikeout prop, and it's moving up now. I think I'll hold off on that. But yeah, I like Fott to get 5 strikeouts. Getting very juicy.
Steve Fehrenbach talking about the move to Baltimore came right when Trent posted the Blue Jays as a mortal mega max. Says nothing moves a number like a Trent fade. I don't know if that's it. Although we'd like to think it is. Let's move on. I can't. TJ leaning first 3 under first 3 and first 5. I do too, but do we really believe at this point that the Tigers and Yankees bullpens are as bad as they've looked over the last 30 days? Because I don't. I think it's sort of a hiccup or a bump in the road. But if the Diamondbacks bullpen is pitching better and we don't expect anything from these Diamondback sticks. So, all right. Let's roll on here at this point. And this TJ was the first 3 under that I wanted, but it didn't correlate enough for me. So last night I thought about betting it, and I was like, I think Tanner Gordon, we'll get into Tanner Gordon, is pitching at a high level right now, and we'll go into it pretty deep. Logan Allen, one of the issues is the Rockies versus lefties. Rockies are hitting 272 with a 751 OPS versus lefties the last 30 days. So do I really trust Logan Allen here at home? He's not been good at home this year. 27 earned runs in 10 starts. So there was some things that were that didn't correlate enough. And Progressive Fields plus 10% runs today, plus 12% homers, plus 9% doubles and triples, and even singles. So I could have got the first 3 under 2.5 minus 105 last night, and I decided not to bet it. This morning I looked, it was a minus 110, so it'd been a 5-cent move to that first 3 under. And look at it now, Pete. Now there's been a big move to the over. Wow. This has been a 15-cent move towards the over. Wow. That's wild. So the over 2.5 is minus 145. The under 2.5 is plus 105. Oh, God, I'm thankful I didn't move on it, come to the show with it. AM says I have this total at 8.5 right here, so nothing for him. Robert Cherry on the Rockies first 5 plus a half at plus 135. Timmy Two Shoes is on Ramirez RBI. Says give me the force out sack fly variety. Let's get into the line history here for our next spot on the board. Let's take another look here. Anybody moved on the? Oh, by the way, the Tigers money line is a move by Spooner in the Tigers Diamondback spot. Talk about the line history here. We have a total now at a 9. Interesting. So this opened up at a 9 at exactly where it is right now. Minus 117 to the under, plus 104 to the over. It didn't last there long. I guess it did a bit, but within 3.5 hours, this was an 8.5. And the 8.5 began as a pick'em. And there was some slight moves to the over. It would always come right back to the pick'em at 8.5, but now we have a 9. So we're back from Wentz. Let's take a look at the money line here in our next spot on the board. Gordon Allen. We have the Guardians minus 195. They opened up minus 224, a huge move towards the Colorado Rockies from plus 198 to plus 178. That's a fascinating move, an absolutely fascinating move here. We get to the cash flow for this spot. We have 67% of the tickets on the Guardians, 51% of the cash on the Rockies, 72% of tickets on the under, 83% cash on the under. But as we've seen on that first 3, a big move, big move to the over. A razor sharp picks in the house is Cleveland 0-8 straight up last 8 games against an opponent in the National League. Ronnie Crawford in the house. Wendy and I celebrating 36 years today. Wow. That is extremely impressive. Why wouldn't you, man? Why wouldn't you? If you were lucky enough to marry Ron Crawford, hey, why wouldn't you do whatever it takes to keep it working? I love it, Ron. I'm going to brighten this up here. I love it, Ron. Congratulations to Ronnie Crawford. 36 years for our guy, Ronnie Crawford, as always, leading by example. Razor sharp picks his Colorado 5-2 straight up in the last 7 games against Cleveland. For me, it's about Tanner Gordon. Tanner Gordon has been very good this year in a small sample size. He doesn't get strikeouts. He gets soft contact, which does tend to be a tricky thing to balance in the thin air of Colorado. And here it's offensive weather in Cleveland. Man, I'm thankful I didn't move on that first 3 under last night or even after the 5-cent move this morning. So 6-0 win at home over the Cardinals in his first start since going on the 15-day IL back on June 3rd. He had an oblique strain. He went to AAA Albuquerque, and this is a tricky spot too because he was throwing fire. 11 innings. He struck out 16 and walked 1 in 2 starts for the Isotopes. That made me nervous. This year on the road, he's only had 1 start on the road all year. It was May 28th, 4 2/3, 2 earned runs, and a 2-1 loss to the Cubs. And lefties have had no chance against Tanner Gordon. It is the righties that are hitting him very hard. 356, 986 OPS. Why don't we take a quick look at the expected lineup here for the Guardians? and take a look at the right-handed bats, and if there are any that really concern us. We imagine that both Martinez and Ramirez, the switchies, will hit from the right side, and same with Santana and Rocchio. So the only actual righty they have is Arias. The rest are switchies that will hit from the right-hand side against Tanner Gordon. So that is our friend Tanner Gordon. Logan Allen on the other side at home this year, not look good. Again, we talked about what the Rockies are doing as lefties, 272, 751 OPS. Guardians versus righties, 208, 679. So then you would think it must be way, way more expensive to back the Rockies first five than it is full game. Way cheaper, I should say, or more expensive. They both work. So the Rockies are plus 175 full game, and first five, they are just plus 165. Why wouldn't there be a bigger difference than that? Why wouldn't there be a bigger difference in that? That is confusing to me. Peter, take it away here for this Rockies Guardian spot. Again, 67% of the tickets on Cleveland, 51% of the cash on Colorado. Take it away.
Well, I did make one bet. It's very risky, but I think I'll make it official. And I did take the Gordon over strikeouts props. I know you said he doesn't get strikeouts, which overall has been the case in his career, although lately he's picked it up a bit, and he can, strike out for 2.5 at minus 160, and it's not because his outs prop is low. So now it's up to 170. I'll make that an official play. I could definitely get burned on that, at your own risk, but I took Gordon over 2.5 strikeouts at minus 170, and at the line, it was definitely Colorado or nothing. Allen, my stats indicate that probably be decent here. One of his better starts. Still not great though, but the line was just way too big, and so I think it probably still is at the current line. I didn't bet it, but at the current line, I'd be Colorado or nothing. I did bet Gordon strikeout props, and I'll make that official. And I think Allen will be all right.
Wow, it is a tricky spot here. I'm astonished that the price is not 25 cents more expensive.
You mean because you think Allen's so much better than Gordon?
No, because Gordon is pitching at a very high level right now, even though he's only had one start back since the IL, but we saw what he did for the Isotopes. And then you have a Guardians bullpen that's allowing 3.81 runs less over 9 innings than the Rockies bullpen. So shouldn't it be a 25-cent difference?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Maybe. There's still a lot of, I wouldn't say that Gordon is such a known quantity that market would adjust like that to him,
Let's copy this here. We got the Taint play today in, which we will be discussing here shortly. Man, let's just see what the difference is at an offshore, because it should be way bigger if I'm going to move on it. So here,
Colorado first five.
It should, the price difference should be massive. Now it's massive at this sharp offshore. Here it's a 23-cent difference. That's what it should be. Why could it possibly be 10 cents? Maybe it's just a slow-moving book.
Yeah.
That's the answer. Why? Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll make that official also. Rockies, first five, plus 170. Maybe I can even get even better.
All right, we got Rockies, first five, plus 170. Why would you not want the plus a half if you'll still get plus money?
Because I am expecting a nice little start here from Al. Not like statistic, not like a great one, but a decent.
But if you get a decent start from Logan Allen, wouldn't you want that plus a half?
Oh, sorry, that's what I meant. Right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, sorry about that.
No worries. But
no. Oh, sorry. Because of volatility. Because of high volatility of Gordon. Sorry about that. Right.
Because you're still getting plus money on that plus and a half.
So with high volatility, you would try to take a big dog line, which which I have Gordon's volatility number as very high here. And Allen as well. I'm just expecting a good start. Also high volatility from Allen. Sorry, because of the volatility.
Yeah, no, I understand it. Huh. Okay, I'm interested in joining you here. TJ says Colorado's 3-24 versus left-handed starters. TJ, could you see what their numbers have been of late? Because they've looked. I mean, obviously the 272, 751 OPS for the last 30 days. You know what? Let's bring on our producer, the backbone here for us at Pub Sports Radio. Please welcome from our home studio at Southtown 101 in San Antonio, Texas, the best bar in Texas. Please welcome our guy, Jean-Claude Bouquet. Jose, how are you?
Excuse me. Nice to see everyone. I'm doing well. Let's ready to get back in action here. Pete, nice to see you. I'm sure Pete didn't even realize I wasn't here last week, but it's nice to see everyone in the chat.
Didn't notice.
I figured.
Jose, my friend, we are talking Rockies Guardians right now. What are your thoughts on this spot?
I didn't have any, firm concrete opinions. I was listening a bit to you guys leaning Rockies here, and it's a little fascinating that there's obviously 67% of the bets, and money is pretty much split 50-50 each way. Lines moving towards Cleveland here. Me personally, I'd be leaning Rockies full game instead of first five because the Guardians don't have a bullpen that I'm really scared of anymore. Obviously Class A is caught up in all the gambling nonsense now as well. So I'll be very interested to see what the Guardians do here. And, I should say what they do for a bullpen situation. I mean, Hunter Gaddis is still good, but I'll roll the dice with the Guardians bullpen. Cade Smith was their closer yesterday, and he threw 22 pitches, lost and blew the save. I lean towards the Rockies full game. I'd be even considering a plus 1.5. I haven't looked at what the odds on that might be, but nothing here from me right now.
Well, I have some interest in the Rockies, first five or first 3+1/2. I have some interest I'm curious to see what the first three, +1/2 would be. I'm sure it's expensive. It's not expensive at all. -120. It's interesting though. I guess the reason why the price is not that much different first five full game is because of the Class A leave of absence, and I guess that does make sense here. 2 on, no outs, bottom of the first for the Orioles, says Justin McKelvey.
What way did you guys lean in that first game?
Baltimore.
And now the bases are juiced. Yeah, Easton Lucas been gone for a while, and it was such a magical first road game for him at Fenway. We got the bases juiced. Wow, with no out. Very, very interesting. Okay.
Oh, Jimmy, you're muted, actually. Somehow you got muted there. I guess your mic might have come unplugged.
Yeah, it must have. Let me just quickly fit.
You sound good right now, so it seems like you're still on your mic.
Oh, yeah, I'm still on my mic. Okay. All right, let's roll on. Let's roll on to our next spot on the board, though. I feel like something's up here, honestly, because the Rockies first three and first 5+1/2, I don't think should be as cheap. I really don't. So I'm gonna have heavy question marks there right now. But I'm very happy I didn't bet that first 3 under. Isn't that wild movement though, Jose? So it was -105 when I liked it last night, but I didn't bet it. It was -110 when I woke up this morning, and now it's +105. So very thankful.
You haven't bet it yet, you said?
I've not.
Well, so are you gonna bet it now, or are you
No,
gonna?
not a chance.
Okay.
But again, that's telling me that it's probably Tanner Gordon. You know, you got all these switchies in the Guardians lineup that are going to hit from the right side where he's been getting hit hard. You know what? I've got enough. I'm going to cut. I'm not going to look in the Rockies first 3+ a half or first 5+ a half. We have a 1-0 Orioles. Thank you, Justin, my man. Let's roll on to our next spot on the board. 7:05 p.m. Eastern, the Tampa Bay Rays at New York Yankees. We're at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, and we have 25-year-old Joe Boyle, 26 next week, 5th round pick by the Reds in 2020 out of the pitching factory at Notre Dame, I guess. Pitching factory there. Let's take a look at the weather in Yankee Stadium here to get started. Weather-wise in New York, possible light rain early, 94 Fahrenheit, feels like 97, 6.3 miles per hour out to left, dies down to 4.5 by the end of the game. Ballpark Pal has Yankee Stadium plus 9%, plus 38% home runs. For you prop bettors, there's no ballpark that is higher for home runs than Yankee Stadium at plus 38%. Minus 15% doubles and triples, minus 4% singles. The last appearance for Joe Boyle was July 23rd. I was out of the bullpen. He's made 4 appearances out of the bullpen since being called back up from AAA Durham. July 23rd, he looked okay. Allowed a solo shot over 3 innings. Didn't walk a batter in an 11-9 loss at home to the White Sox. His last start, you got to go all the way back to April 13th. And he was good in his last start. Joe Boyle has interesting stats, which I don't believe. First off, lefties aren't hitting him and righties aren't hitting him. Nobody's hitting him in Major League Baseball, which I absolutely don't believe at all. Lefties 091, 432 OPS, righties 100, 282 OPS. But that is the case. Max Fried, on the other hand, 11-4, 2.62 ERA, 1.04 WHIP. Now, Spooner and I were both on the over in that last start of his, an 8-4 loss at the Jays. And for 3 innings, he was unhittable. It might even have been 4 innings. And then he looked vulnerable, and he was emoting on the mound. And when things got difficult, you could tell it was bothering him. At home this year, though, he's been great. 13 earned runs over 9 starts. He's only allowed 40 hits over 52 and a third. He's only allowed 2 home runs at home all year. He's allowed 7 on the road. His splits are excellent. The Rays aren't hitting lefties at all last 30 days. 210, 602 OPS. Yankees versus righties, 250, 797 OPS. The Yankees bullpen is the worst in MLB over the last 30 days. Hard to imagine that they could be this bad. Let's get into the line history and hear from Jose Bouquet here. We have the total at 8.5. It's minus 116 to the over. This opened up at plus 102 to the over. So there's a big move to the over. This did get to 9 for a cup of coffee. Right now we have 16 cents of movement to the over 8.5. On the money line here for this Yankees spot, we have the Yankees minus 183. They opened up at minus 201. That's an 18-cent move away from them, a 12-cent move towards the Tampa Bay Rays. An official play for Matty Ice is the Yankees' first 5 minus a half. Says Tampa Bay Rays are 7 for 60 with a 116 batting average versus Friedel. We have AM on the over 8.5. Jose Bouquet. We got Wager Detective in the house. Junior Swish ready to go. Jose Bouquet, take it away for us. Yankees hosting the Rays. AL East action.
Yeah, it's tough to bet on either one of these teams because both of them suck balls now. Oh God, I looked at my futures this morning. I was looking to see if I could bet the Yankees and not make the playoffs, just so I can point and laugh at them. But with a torn UCL or whatever Aaron Judge might have, you could probably still hit. So I think he'll probably be in the lineup, but the Yankees' health staff is incompetent. So I'm going to be very interested to see just how long Aaron Judge is out, because I was listening to a podcast and reminded of he had a rib injury a few years ago, and then he said, like, "Oh yeah, it's going to be a minimum stint. I'm going to be off in 10 days," and then he didn't come back for like 2 months. So he said the same thing this time. So we'll see. But the Yankees team, I don't want to trust without Aaron Judge. I think this offense is, going to fall off a cliff. And I think that the protection the lineup he brings is just going to it's not going to be there for all these guys. And I don't believe in any of them individually. Ryan McMahon and who else did they trade for? Ryan McMahon is someone else, but it's not going to do it for me here. And this Rays team has just been bad since the second half of the season. So I'm off this game, but I will be looking to fade both these teams in the coming weeks.
We have Evan on the under in this spot here. We also have Kong's clips going back to the Lodolo train. It was his best bet in Lodolo's last start and got Kong paid. Kong going back to it. That is our next game that we'll be breaking down. Kong, I'll talk about it a little bit more when we get there. So then, Jose, I don't see why Joe Boyle can't get through 3 innings. 2-0 Orioles now. I should have got there. Should have got there with you guys. I am interested in the first 3 under in this one. Home runs are so high, but maybe this is the right lineup with the Yankees with no Judge to attack it. Let's go over the cash flow. I don't know if I did here for the Yankees Rays start. 75% of the tickets, 92% of cash on the Yankees, 63% of tickets, 62% cash on the under. Peter Loshak, take it away.
Well, yeah, it's interesting. First of all, Boyle is one of these 6'8" guys, so when their mechanics are off, they get crushed. But when the mechanics are on, then they're the guys who start to have like 5-inning no-hit starts. And no one's mentioned that Fried has been getting hit and he's had a blister, right? Talked about blisters for a long time, Jimmy the Bag. They can linger a little bit under the radar. Now, eventually Fried will be back to his old self at some point. But is that going to happen here? I don't know. Well, what do you think, Jose Duquette? Fried has been a terrible July, partially due to the blister.
But he was unhittable for 3 innings. I watched him. He was electric and unhittable. And then he did start looking at his hand.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jose, take it away.
No, I generally believe that he's good, yeah. And blisters are kind of a tough thing to gauge because, like Jimmy said, you can be good for 3 innings, and then it can break open, pop, and then you're fucked. You're just going to be just blistered juice all over there, your fingers and everything and all that stuff. Or it can go, I throw in the bullpen, it already ripped, so I'm SOL for the game to begin with. So I find that stuff to be kind of difficult to predict, but Max Fried, I'd lean under here, I'll tell you that, but you just read off this is going to be a very offensive friendly ballpark today, so it's just like I want to go up against that, and do I want to trust Joe Boyle, and do I want to take an under in Yankee Stadium? None of this really lines up for me. But his stuff is still there, and it's not like it's an arm injury, so whenever that blister heals, he'll be fine.
Yeah, as far as props are concerned, I was interested to see what would happen with the free strikeout prop. Was 5.5 minus 110 to the under. I was leaning that way. Now it's moved about 5 cents to the over. And Boyle, 4.5 strikeouts at minus 115 to the over. My note here, if he's on, you can easily get that. And it has moved 15 cents to the over. So that's interesting. And then I was thinking that maybe a good bet, best bet would be Fried under 18.5 outs at just minus 145. Because even if he has a good start, maybe they don't push him too hard. But now it's minus 135. Might take that anyway, but, Fried unhittable, but that blister will come back and they'll yank him a little early.
Yeah, the first 5 opened up offshore 5:31, the total at 4.5, 5:31 p.m. yesterday. It's minus 114 to the under. We're now looking at it as a pick on minus 107 each way, so 7 cents of movement towards the over. I would like to be on the first 300, but I agree with you. I think that it's just not. I think it's just a little too questionable here with the conditions. Again, Fried was lights out for those first few innings and then started getting touched. Spooner saying that Joe Boyle pitches in the same park dimensions and more hitter-friendly conditions in all of his home starts. That's for Durham. So I have some interest in it. That's all I'm going to leave it at right now and look at it again later. The first 300, 2.5 at this point is minus 110 to the under, minus 130 to the over at 365. So I'm going to take a little bit more time here. AM has his score projected at 9.1, so he's on the over 8.5 again. Peter, anything and Matty Ice on the Yankees first 5 -0.5. Anything for you, Peter or Jose, or do we move on?
I might get burned, but I'm going to take it. Freed under 18.5 outs, -135. Hopefully he's either still struggling or if he's good, they don't want to push it and yank him a little bit earlier than normal. 6 innings, fine. Under 18.5 outs, -135.
Our guy Kong's Clips as his play of the day in the next game. Jose, our pig milk video was got some very positive reviews. Excellent work, my friend.
Thank you.
Hard to create a video as dope as our guy Kong's Clips play of the day video. Lodolo, 6 or more Ks for Kong at +124. Shout out to our guy Kong's Clips. And Jason Meyer, the Eldorado custodian, asking the juice on the first 5. Here at 365, not the sharpest of books, pop-up book, -200 full game, and first 5's -190. The Rays are a little bit cheaper first 5, which is another surprise here.
That is surprising.
So a lot of question marks around this one. Let's get over to Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. Nick Lodolo coming off a masterful performance. Jose, how many pitches? I meant to have this handy, but how many pitches did he throw in that one? The 5-0 win at the Nationals, 9 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, 8 strikeouts, and 0 walks. That was on the road. At home, he's not been very good this year. 25 earned runs over 10 starts, 11 home runs allowed at home, only 5 on the road. We've watched him pitch great on the road all season long. Here he is at home. Do you have the number for how many pitches he threw?
He threw 105. That would be the most he has thrown this season. His last few, I can tell you, 105, 97, 91, 85, 95, 94. Last few.
Yeah, I'm hesitant to trust him here. Even though Reds have been great at home, 31-23 at home. Dodgers just 3 games over 500 on the road. Justin McKelvey's got the Ohtani RBI in his pocket at +117. Coin saying, look at all the Cincinnati unders at home in July. Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. Let's take a look at the weather. We'll start with the wind here. And 89 Fahrenheit, feels like 96. 4.5 miles per hour left to right across the diamond, dies down to 2.7 miles per hour. But it's still the most offensive ballpark, tied with Sutter Health Park in Sacramento at +16% runs. Great American Ballpark +30% homers, -1% doubles and triples, and +1% singles. AM has this projected at 8.9. Says nothing for me here unless I see a fair priced 8.5 or 9.5. Taking a look at these totals, I got the first 5 up. We'll take a look at that. That's a 4.5. It's -109 to the over. Opened up now -108 to the over, but opened up -102 to the over. So 6 cents of movement towards the over. When we get to the money line here, let's get to. I should start with the total for full game because we just went over the first 5 total. Full game total here is a 9 at a pick'em. This did get up to 9.5 for a cup of coffee and came right back down. Overall, 3 cents of movement towards the over, just 3 cents of movement. On the money line here, we have the Cincinnati Reds at +136. They opened up at +128. Dodgers are taking 6 cents from -142 to -148. When we take a look at the cash flow here for this one, we have the 72% of tickets, 65% of cash on the Dodgers. 62% of tickets, 90% of cash on the under. 90% of cash on the under. Matty Ice also on the Angels. Robert Franklin bet the under 9 last night. W.Y. says Dodgers win again, but staying away got better looks. Let's get this copied and pasted here. We got Matty Ice, more action on the Angels. We'll discuss that. So Glass now, 1-1, 2.75 ERA, 1.03 whip through 36 innings. He's looked very good. 46 strikeouts in those 36 innings. Has walked 16 batters. Coming off a great performance at home over the Twins. 1 earned run. It was a solo shot over 7 innings. Struck out 12. On the road, he's been great. He hasn't gone deep in the games. 3 starts, only thrown 11 innings, but allowed 5 earned runs. And walked too many batters again, but hasn't given up a home run. And opponents hitting 175 against him. His splits are excellent. at this point, it's lefties that are the only ones that have had a chance against Glass now this season. Taking a look at the lefties in this lineup, Friedel, Cruz, Dela Cruz will probably bat from the left side. It's switchy. Then Gavin Lux and Fraley. So it's not a ton of lefty bats that he has to worry about. Markel on the Dodgers money line. The Reds bullpen has been quite a bit better than the Dodgers bullpen. Neither team's hitting right now. Dodgers versus lefties 213, 682 OPS last 30 days. Reds versus righties 252, 693. Rod Zwacky in the house. Great to see you, Rod, my friend. So, Jose Bouquet, take it away. Dodgers, Reds.
Yeah, what a fascinating game. And I think the minus 150 price is kind of the indicator of what you were talking about with the pitch count. A lot of pitches for Lodolo, who hasn't gotten over 100. I know 97, the previous one wasn't good, but maybe he's a little fatigued here. I don't know. I'm a little worried about it, so I stayed off here. The Dodgers have been very gettable in the last, few weeks. They've not been playing all that great. So that has made me feel better about like fading them at times. But I think the minus 150 price on the road is a sign that, like, okay, the Dodgers roll here, especially they lose the series against the Red Sox. Dodgers against lefties are in this month 892 weighted runs created plus. Let's cut the sample size just a bit to see, just in case. From the 13th to the 29th, they are 108 weighted runs created plus and 137 plate appearances. So, I'll stay off. I'll watch the game. I think Lodolo could get touched up here. And maybe Glasnow does a good job here. I just always assume that Glasnow is going to go out there and pitch well. If he also doesn't have blisters to deal with, he smashes the ball. But 111 weighted runs created plus, 8th best in the league from the 13th to the 29th. So, be careful, but I'm off.
Sorry, what was that last stat? Weighted runs created plus?
From the 13th of July to the 29th, Cincinnati is 8th best in the league against righties, 111 weighted runs created plus. Second best, by the way, the Miami Marlins.
Rod Zwack says, bet under the total in Cincinnati home games versus NL starting pitcher's whip is 1.150 or better. Unders record since 2024, 15-4. Well, I'm going to fade Lodolo. I'm going to fade him after that spectacular start. 9 innings, doesn't allow a run at the Nationals, throws a lot of pitches. He's been better on the road than he's been at home all season long. I am going to take the Dodgers. I very rarely bet them all year long. I'm going to bet them here. I like what Glasnow has been doing. He looks strong. And again, I think these are two things that appeal to me. Fading Lodolo after that spectacular performance and fading Lodolo at home. So the Dodgers looks like it'll be my first spot on the board for me. We'll take them on the -1 line here. I expect to take them on the -1 line. There's a lot of talk about not wanting home teams on the -1 line, and I vehemently disagree on that. It's baked into the line that you might not get the 9th at bat, and you get a much better number. I mean, here at 365, it's the money line for the Dodgers -160. The -1 line's -130. I mean, is it worth it? I mean, it's tricky, but I am going to move on the Los Angeles Dodgers here. All right, let's roll on. Peter, anything for you in Dodgers Reds before we move on to Braves Royals?
No, not really. I mean, it does seem like, Lodolo has been gets a lot of strikeouts on the road and not so much at home. So it's a very low strikeout total. Tempted to take the under 5.5, but it's just too high of a line right now. Yeah, and you think Glasnow is going to come in and keep dealing, huh?
I mean, there can be. I mean, it's not ridiculously hot, too, and it's not like what it is in Baltimore today. And,
no, yeah.
And I've really liked what I've seen from Glasnow. I think he's pitching at an absolute elite level. The question is he going to will that be shown here on the road? That is a legitimate, concern. So. Yeah, I'm not sitting here saying for sure Glasnow is going to deliver, but I feel like the risk reward makes sense here. They're treating Glass now like he's clearly the best pitcher pitching today. I mean,
I don't know, man. I mean, look, Dolo, 6'6", 27 years old. You might start stringing together these kinds of starts even after having a few of them in a row. So, pass for me.
Well, he finally had a good start at home recently, but let's just go over. Because he was flailing at home badly. Let's just do a very quick look here. Oh my God, they're saying that the New York City shooter was targeting NFL headquarters.
Oh yeah,
I thought it was wow. Okay, let's just take a quick look here. God, targeting NFL headquarters? That's fucking nuts. Okay, Lodolo here in his last, so he's had 2 home starts and he's looked very good in them.
Yeah,
this month, or I guess the one was on the 29th. He's looked very good in them. Huh. So maybe it was just kind of a fluky thing that he was getting touched up in these home starts. But you're right in those home starts. He's 9 Ks in the 11 and a third. I mean, he had 8 Ks in his last start against Nats.
He's gotten 4 strikeouts and exactly 4 and 50% of his home starts. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable fading him though. 6'6" guy, 27 years old, second half of a really nice season. I don't really want to fade him.
Jason Meyer says the -150 Dodgers telling or not. I think it's telling. I think it's very telling. You have a Reds team that's 8 games over 500 at home against a Dodgers team that's barely over 500 on the road. I think the Dodgers being this big of a favorite is very telling. We look at that Red Sox spot that we talked about on Friday when Dougie Wise was on the Dodgers. What's the Red Sox home record right now, Jose, off the top of your head?
I heard it this morning. It's like 31-22, something like that.
And the Dodgers were very slight favorites in that one and closed as underdogs.
Mm-hmm.
Here, this line is getting bigger. This is the Dodgers for me. Now, the Dodgers did win that game, anyways, but this is a sign telling me that I know there's always a Dodgers tax, but they should not be this big of a favorite. So let's roll. Next up for us, so that's going to be my first spot on the board. 7:40 p.m. Eastern with the Atlanta Braves 45-60, 19-34 on the road at the Kansas City Royals 52-55, 26-28 at home. We're at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri, and we have arrived at the taint play of the day. Sweet, sweet taint, the nectar of the gods. It's interesting that our man Taint, who cashed so easily yesterday with the Taint play today on the Orioles, is this bullish. I am surprised he's bullish. By the way, the flank stake play today was the Yankees in that game that we had discussed. And Spooner is on the Royals in this one. But let's get to Matty Ice's thoughts here for his Taint play of the day. I thought I had it here. But
I'm always interested in what Mia Khalifa's looking at.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to think about that at all. I'd prefer just to look at Mia Khalifa. Taint play today, Atlanta, Kansas City under 9.5 says Lugo's been great at home. Just signed the contract extension. Fetty motivated to impress his new team. 2 motivated pitchers here. Let's eat, fam. It's interesting that he is this. TJ says, who's lining up to bet Atlanta? Why is this line not moving? I'm heavy on the Royals. Rod Zawakis says, bet against the Royals in the home games on the money line after allowing 10 runs or more. Kansas City record since the 2023 season, 3-15. Irish King, though, on the Kansas City money line. Deacon, don't worry. We'll send you some Taint picks. Lift you up out of those doldrums, my friend. So first off, I don't like backing anybody after their contract signed, but I get the angle. There was some thoughts that the Royals had the most coveted pitcher available at the trade deadline because he was on the expiring contract. So he signs the 2-year extension for $46 million. $46 million. It's a lot of money for a pitcher who the Mets didn't think could be a starter. Going up against Eric Fetty's first start as a Brave. Yes, he has a lot to prove, but he's been downright awful. Now that last start was in Colorado, he allowed 6 earned runs in 3 innings. That was when he went up against Tanner Gordon, who didn't allow a run. Yes, Nasty Nate. Yes, there is. AM and Nasty Nate, of course, asking about the nectar in the taint. Yes. Ronnie Lofton says taint. It is. And AM is on the over 9.5. Says these teams have no reason to have a total of 9.5. Projected 7.3. Trust the books hanging the extremely high total over smash. TJ says Braves just needed a body. I rarely disagree with Matty Ice, but I don't trust Fetty at all. It's funny because I don't trust really either of these pitchers in this spot. But if Taint is on it, it obviously becomes more appealing. The last start for Seth Lugo was nice. 8-4 win at the Cubs, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 6 Ks, 2 walks at home, 10 starts, 58 innings, 45 hits, 16 earned runs in those 10 starts. He's been excellent at home. He has allowed 7 home runs at home, which is more than usual. 10 on the road, 17 this year, which is, again, more than usual. And lefties hit him much harder than righties. He gets righties out at an alarming rate, 169, 519 OPS. But lefties do get to him. So Profile hit from the left side, batting leadoff. Then you have Matty Olson. You have Baldwin DHing from the left side. Harris and then Albies will hit from the left side. So there are some left-handed bats here. Let's take a look at the weather in Kansas City and set up the line history and then hand it over to young Jean-Claude Bouquet. 94 Fahrenheit, feels like 101. 5.4 miles per hour right to left across the diamond. Gets down to 4.5 all across the diamond. Taking a look at Kauffman Stadium, it's plus 10% overall runs, minus 6% homers, plus 18% doubles and triples, and plus 8% singles. Let's get into the line history then and the cash flow. We'll start with the money line. On the money line here, we have Lugo and the Royals at minus 125. They opened up at minus 125. This went down to minus 116 right around 1 in the morning. Came back to minus 125, so no movement there. We do have a 2-1 game now in Baltimore. From a total standpoint here, we have a 9.5. It's minus 115 to the under. This opened up 9.5, minus 106 to the over. A fascinating number. I get what AM's talking about. I mean, we talked about it yesterday in the Brewers Cubs game on Medicaid Monday. How on earth was that an 8? You know, you have 2 absolute monsters in Mizorowski, who we knew wasn't going to go deep, against Boyd, who's got, an ERA just a shade over 2, and yet it was an 8. It should have opened up at 7.5 juice to the under and closed at 7 minus 105 to the under. And the 8 was there all day long. Now I said, and I mentioned this to our friend TJ, I'm tired of saying these things out loud and just, watching them cash. I'm going to bet them every single time from today on when it just makes no sense. And that's what AM's saying, is he's saying this 9.5 makes no sense here. Braves versus righties last 30 days, 233, 732 OPS. Royals 234, 716, and both bullpens have been trash, absolute trash. Matty Ice says KC only minus 125 tells me something as well with this pitching matchup. Yeah, you're right. It either says that Fetty is going to pitch very well, which is your angle, or Lugo is going to buckle. So here we go. Jose Bouquet. This is a fascinating one. Braves Royals.
Yeah, it really is an interesting game here. I find it to be very difficult, so I stayed off. But I like Matty Ice's angle of both motivated pitchers. I like your angle of being like, why is this an 8? Or excuse me, why is this a 9.5? Why isn't this like 8.5? Which is what I would kind of think it is. I also kind of agree with TJ. The Braves are just picking up anybody. They picked up Carlos Carrasco too to throw for them as well. I was like, what the fuck's going on over here? They're just dropping bodies left and right, and now we're just picking up from the scrap heap and I like Fetty, but like you said, he's been pitching awful this year. So I leaned Royals for sure, but I think this line's a little fishy. I think the 9.5's a little fishy, so I just stayed off.
Peter Loshak. Loshak. You moving on Braves Royals?
Yeah, very, very interesting take from Matty Ice. Obviously, believing in Fetty to at least not get super crushed here. The Lugo strikeout prop was surprisingly low, 4.5, at just -130 on the over. That caught my eye a little bit. And the first half, money line for KC is not what you might expect, given the recent performance, season-long performance of these two guys. And yeah, I agree with you that in general, be a little careful when guys sign a big contract like that. You have a veteran like Lugo; it's like a 2-year contract. Like he's just kind of a machine who's going to go out there and just do what he does. I'm a little bit less worried about that, but I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what to make of this.
Well, I can help you, Peter, because Timmy Two Shoes has our next song. I just pulled out my worksheet of Loshak songs.
Oh, no.
And Timmy Two Shoes has our next one. Can you work with that, do you think?
Sure. Clowns and joking. Here I am, stuck with my Honda ticket with you. Not very nice. Yeah, we can do that. We can covers.
Okay, I've got that now listed
That's
from
a
our
good song, too.
Timmy.
Right, you know that song, Jose. You can't, right?
I have no fucking idea what we're talking about.
Down to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am. You don't know that one?
Are you doing Bob Dylan?
It sounds like Bob Dylan, but it's not. But that is kind of how he sings it.
By the way, Jimmy, has Pete always sounded like he's been talking through a fucking potato?
Is my audio bad?
Your audio is particularly bad today. You sound like you're just like, you sound like 20 yards away from the mic. We can hear you, and we're hearing what you're saying, so we can take it. But you sound like you're fucking 40 yards away from your mic in the other room.
Really bad. That's not. Audio is the most important thing. Sorry about that. All right, I don't know what to do.
No worries. I was trying to figure out who the singer was. I was captivated and riveted.
Well, I have added it to the song, Timmy Two Shoe. Thank you for that.
How long is that list now?
We have 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 songs.
Wow, Jesus Christ. We were almost at a double album. Fuck.
It always comes back to Rider -4, though. That seems to be
I do indeed just sing that in my head every once in a while.
Yeah. Let's roll. Thank you for the addition, Timmy.
I got a new good one, Jim, but I'm going to need like an early 90s East Coast track for it.
Okay, I like it. We'll work on it. I'd like to put the album together at Pubapalooza 5. We got Turnbuckle Tommy in the house, going back to his winner from yesterday on the White Sox money line. The angle of it being at 9.5 when it shouldn't be is AM's angle. I was just, connecting it to the Cubs Brewers spot from yesterday. I understand why it is a wildly high number and why he's attacking it. I don't want to go up against Taint. I think there's a lot of question marks in this baseball game. And, the whole idea here is we study all these numbers, study the situation to find the predictable outcome. I don't feel like there's a predictable outcome, an easy predictable outcome in this one. I understand what AM's saying. I understand what Taint's saying. And I would like to move on. And when we move on, we head to Target Field, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Cost me my 6th straight winning day. That stupid rain delay yesterday. Now we have 25-year-old Moore Park, California native Pearson Ole pitching here for Pearson.
What is that?
Ole is pitching for these Minnesota Twins. Out of Grand Canyon University in the WAC.
Oh my God. I'm looking at this, spell this guy's name. What a fucking name this guy has.
Pearson Ole is the expected pitcher for the Twins. This year, he started in Single A Fort Myers, pitched in 2 games, 5 innings, didn't allow a run, struck out 10, walked 1, got promoted to Double A Wichita. There, he had 13 appearances, started 2 games, closed 3 games, threw 39 innings, and was very, very good. 2.08 ERA, 0.90 whip. Very good. So he got promoted to AAA. There he pitched in 7 games. He started 3. He closed 2. Pitched 22 in the 3rd. And he was, again, very good. He's delivered at every level. This is not a highly thought of prospect, 14th round pick out of university. That is 6'1", 180-pound Pearson Ole. You don't see a lot of 180-pound, 6'1" pitchers anymore these days. Pearson Ole making his MLB debut here against Lucas Giolito. Lucas Giolito coming off a 9-8 extra inning win at the Phillies. 4 innings, 5 earned runs. He allowed 4 homers in that one. He's allowed 13 home runs all year, 4 in his last start. So he's now, that was at the Phillies, he's now allowed 9 of his 13 home runs on the road, where he had been pitching very, very well before that last start. Lefties hitting 231, 732 against them. Righties 280, 734. The Red Sox are raking against righties and have a much better bullpen against Minnesota. I was extremely angry that my winning day was caught. And then it's huge swing, man. 3 in 1 day to a 2 in 2 day is a huge swing. And I was extremely angry. Let's take a look at the weather here at Target Field. We have, oh, sorry, I blew past it. Here we go. 84 Fahrenheit, feels like 87, 7.2 miles per hour in, dies down at 5.4 miles per hour in. Target Field is still very offensive, plus 10% overall, minus 2% homers, but plus 13% doubles and triples, and plus 6% singles. We get into the line history here for this spot. We have a total of 9. It's minus 113 to the under. This opened up at 8.5. 8:58 a.m. this morning, and within 12 minutes we moved to a 9, which is where we are now. So it's an immediate move. When we get to the money line here in this one, we have the Twins at plus 108. They opened up at plus 105. Again, that was at 8:58 this morning. If we go a little to a book that opened this line up earlier, we have this one opening up at 2:57 p.m. yesterday when we had no idea who the pitcher was going to be. It opened up at minus 103. By 3:38 p.m., it got up to minus 115. It didn't move to a plus line really until 2:30 this morning. There was a huge move towards the Boston Red Sox. You know, Nate says Red Sox smash. Take it away for us. What's going on with Lucas Giolito? And are the Red Sox angry about what happened yesterday? Take it away, Jose. I'm all ears.
You know, I haven't heard any comments about that, the situation with the rain delay. I was a little annoyed as well that they just, shut it down right before the 9th inning. We can't grid out 3 more outs there, and then they just put everyone on ice, and then Jordan Hicks comes in there and shits the bed. I'm not worried about Lucas Giolito being bad. I think that was just, the second half start. He pitching the first game. I don't think he was mentally just in it that game, it seemed. And I think he said so, so I'm not worried about that. I am a little bit worried about old Pearson here. I'm reading his fan graphs. He was drafted low because he couldn't throw hard, but he's a command monster and throws a bunch of sliders, and he has a good changeup. I'll be very interested to see how he does today. It seems like the max he's going to go is 4 innings, maybe 5 innings. His last start was 4 innings, I believe. So I'd expect 4 innings, but why am I going to be worried about if they go 4 innings here, 5 innings at the most with Pearson? I'm not going to get Johan Duran today. He went on back-to-back days. Griffin Jacks threw yesterday. He'll probably throw again today. I'll roll the dice and I'll take that. Louis Varland didn't throw yesterday, but threw the day before. We'll see him. Cole Sands. I mean, there's nothing. No one else in this bullpen really scares me aside from Jacks and Varland. And Jacks is, like I said, back-to-back day. Varland is okay to good. So I'll roll this dice, and I'll take the Boston Red Sox full game here. I'll tell you what the prices I get right now. Like I said, that Red Sox series win against the Dodgers was very big for the confidence. They kind of get fucked yesterday, so I'll be very interested to see how they come out today.
What line are you getting on the Red Sox?
Minus 117.
Are you surprised that the Twins are more expensive first 5 than they are full game, or no, that's a bullpen situation where the Red Sox have a huge advantage?
Yeah, I think it's a bullpen situation. However, I will say this, and you saw this on full display last night. Probably no Chappie. Probably no Chapman. Type back. He said it'd be 2 to a couple days. Maybe we'll see him here. I would say the Red Sox try to rest him up as much as possible here. By the way, for people wondering who went into the Red Sox bullpen yesterday, it's pretty used up. But I still believe that Giolito will go 6 innings and we'll leave it to the back end. So, and by the way, I think Whitlock is sick as well. I'm seeing ill on the Fangraphs thing for yesterday, so I think he's sick. I don't know if he's going to be available. But Chris Murphy, Alcala, Bernardino, Jordan Hicks, and Greg Weissert all through. Justin Wilson and Whitlock are available. I think Whitlock is available, and Wilson will probably be available today. Both those guys are closer material, and Jordan Hicks showed yesterday why he is not closer material. So we'll see how that all unfolds, but Red Sox full game for me.
What do you think about TJ's comment here that's on the screen?
I think Giolito pitches well, and we'll get 6-7 innings of Giolito. So then we'll get, again, hopefully Whitlock's pitching one inning of Whitlock and 1.5 innings of Wilson, and we'll see from there.
Peter Loshak, take it away. Target Field hosting the Boston Red Sox.
And by the way, real quick, sorry, Pete. Apparently, according to RotoWire, Chapman is supposed to be ready by Tuesday or Wednesday. So we'll see if he is back, but he is very important.
Peter, we can't hear you, my friend.
No, we can't hear you. No, there we go.
No.
I asked Pete to fix his mic, and I accidentally fucked it up for him. Sorry, Pete.
All right.
Yeah, Pete, hit the refresh on your browser and come back in and out. And check your mic settings when you do.
And blame Jose.
Yeah, and you can blame me as well. It's on me. It's on me. So that's funny.
All right. Well, I find it somewhat suspicious here that the Twins are cheaper early, that maybe Pierce Knoll is a tricky pitcher for the Red Sox to get a read on. Let's hear from Peter Loshak.
How's it now? Can you hear me now?
You sound great.
You sound much better now.
My microphone was fucking backwards. Sorry about that.
Backwards?
Yes, the opposite, facing the opposite direction. Sorry about that. Thanks for telling me, Jim. All right. First of all, mad respect to Matty Ice for expecting a decent start from Fetty, but I will add Pasquantino, hits, runs, RBIs, 1.5 minus 140. I think he'll get something there. This one here, Boston, Minnesota. I like this guy, Ole. I know that first major league start is a big wild card, but he was a control guy, but he changed his grips and started getting more strikeouts. He had some success in the minors, and I think he might be all right here. At least to start. Big question here is Giolito, Jose Bouquet. You think that Giolito is going to fix things here? I saw someone in the comment section say Minnesota gets shut out today.
I do think Giolito pitches well today. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think
why is that? I like where is it coming from, or is it a feel?
I think that one start against Philadelphia, it was a little not fluky, but I think that happens to pitchers. They can have one bad start on their year. The rest, Chicago, tough matchup against one of the best offenses in baseball, but the rest have all been shutouts. I generally will trust Giolito, who's, and then shocking that I trust Giolito to get back here. But I think that all of his things that he's been doing this year have not been like flukes. He didn't fluke into having like a 5, 6, 7 start stretch of being dominant. I think it's like absolutely substantial changes to his, pitch grips and all that stuff that he's been talking about with Andrew Bailey. So I think he's actually just good.
Yeah. Cubs is tough, and tough team. He got his strikeouts, and then he went into Philly, and it was just, you're right, like a throwaway start. All right, then I'm thinking maybe the first 3 under, because I think this guy might be all right. Knows how to get outs. He's not one of these guys who's going to come in here flame throwing, getting 1 million Ks in the minors, and then comes up and gets crushed in his first bunch of big league starts. So I'm thinking about maybe taking like a first 3 under here.
I agree with you, Pete. I do think that old Pearson here is going to be in line for a decent start. I think the sliders are going to be very interesting to watch him pitch, because I feel like I see Trevor Story just swinging through outside sliders all the time. And like I love a control pitcher. I probably because I didn't throw hard at all and I just try to spot ball myself. If a pitcher can just go out there, control, and fill up the zone, I think you got a better shot than a fireballer that doesn't know what the fuck is going on.
All right, I'll take a first 3 under 2.5, just minus 105. I can probably shop around and get better.
All right, Loshak on a first 3 under 2.5. I am still interested. I don't understand exactly why. Look, I get it that the Cubs and the Phillies, are a much tougher offense than the Twins. And maybe I don't even need to add this here, but I don't know why the third straight road start would be a spot where he, figures it out. I just not figure it out because I know he's pitching very well. And I guess we're saying that those are the very, very tough situations, and this one isn't nearly as tough. So maybe I just stay off of it. But I have interest in the Twins early. Hasn't Giolito be pitching way over his head? Now isn't he just coming back to earth or come back to the? And what happened was, he went on the All-Star break. He got out of his rhythm. Maybe he comes back. 2 tough road starts. And he's going to get it right against the Twins. I find it hard to believe that. But we have Jose on the Red Sox. Loshak on the first 3 under 2.5. Loshak, what was the juice on that?
Well, minus 105. I'm going to shop around, and I might add on Minnesota first 3 plus a half as well. I'll let you know.
All right, let's roll on here, and we head to the Chicago Cubs at the Milwaukee Brewers.
Your favorite series here?
There's a long way to go here for the Brewers, but
Cubs are mentally weak.
Obviously, I'm very hopeful with the way the Brewers are playing, but it's more important for us to give a big shout out to Ryan Sandberg, to the Rhino, who led by example. Whether he was stealing 50 bases or hitting homers or just being a team player or being raising a family through all of the, I'm sure, difficulties when you're a star on the road, going from hotel room to hotel room and staying with his wife and raising a family, and then dealing with cancer the way he did with such strength and dignity and fight. Watching all these guys fight against these very aggressive cancers that are a death sentence puts us in a situation where we also have to fight. If it happens to us, we can't just lie down. Because wouldn't it just be easy to be like, oh, okay, I'm done. I'll see you guys later. I'm just gonna go into this dark room and call it a life. But these guys fight and they lead by example. And our thoughts are to the Sandberg family and to the Cubs family, because I know there were some tough times for that baseball team in the 80s, and Ryan Sandberg was always this shining light through it all. And so to the Cubs family and to the Ryan Sandberg family and to everyone that's hurting over the death of the Rhino, our thoughts are with you. Matty I says Rhino was my favorite non-Tiger player growing up. It was impossible not to cheer for and not to like. So our thoughts
go
are
get your prostates checked. All you old guys, go get your prostates checked because that shit's serious.
It was pancreatic cancer though.
Go get your prostates checked. That shit's serious too.
All right. American Family Field in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Cubbies 62-44, 29-25 on the road. Brewers 63-43, 35-19 at home. The eight yesterday made no sense with those two monsters on the hill. Today here we have an 8. Now it opened up at 8.5 and dropped to 8. So with Colin Ray, who's looked very questionable, now he's been quite good on the road this year, but he looked very questionable in his last start. It was at home against the Royals. A lineup, he allows lefties at 299, 900 against them. I mean, he just gets torched by lefties, and there's some dangerous ones in this lineup. You have Turang and Yelich 1-3. Collins is a switchlet from the left side, and then Frelick. Maybe it's not that. Maybe it's pretty easy. Maybe I take that a little back. But I find it fascinating that this is the 8, and yesterday was too. I mean, Quinn Priester 9-2, 3.28 ERA, 1.20 WHIP. You guys know I'm a big fan of his. I got in many fights last year backing up Quinn Priester. And this year's Quinn Priester, next year's Emerson Hancock. People writing off these first-round picks. I think it's filled with ignorance. Last start, he went 7 innings, 2 earned runs, 6 Ks, and 2 walks, and a 10-2 win at the Mariners. He's been excellent this year. He was traded for a first-round pick this year. We knew the Brewers had high hopes for him. And, Patrick is a great GM, handling him perfectly, Pat. Cubbies versus righties last 30 days, 242, 734 OPS. Brewers, 254, 730. The Cubs bullpen's been an absolute train wreck. Absolute train wreck. Brewers bullpen, 2.44 ERA. So let's take a look at the weather here. Shout out to our guy, Big Zo, in the house. Let's take a look at the weather and set this one up and hear from our panel. We have, I guess the roof's closed. Still, they expect with the not that the roof is closed. I mean, it does open up a bit. You can barely feel it. I don't trust these numbers at all here. Let's just go into the line history. Line history wise, here we have this total at 8 minus 116 to the over, as I said. And then on the money line, get over to the money line quickly. On the money line, we have the Brewers at minus 120. They opened up minus 115, 5 cents of movement. It's telling us that Colin Ray is going to pitch well. We get to the cash flow here. We have 57% of tickets, 54% of cash on the Brewers, 88% tickets on the under, and 95% cash on the over. Huge bets coming in on the over. Here we go. Jose Bouquet, a big one. Cubbies, Brew Crew, take it away.
Yeah, I definitely lean Brewers here. I mean, I feel like we sussed out the Cubs fraudulence a few weeks ago. I'm not going to lie. I went on a rant about how I just think this team is soft and I just didn't like them. I didn't like betting on them. I don't really enjoy watching them all too much, honestly. But I definitely lean Brewers here yet again. But you know how the baseball gods work. Do I want to bet against the Brewers on the day that Ryan Sandberg dies? Not
he died
really.
yesterday.
Okay. Do I want to bet on him the game after?
The game after was yesterday. Like if we're going with the death angle, it would have happened yesterday, right?
I mean, you're right, and they went out on an early lead and then got their ass whooped right after that. So, I mean, I lean Brewers. I just think this Cubs team is not as good as they were playing in the first half of the season. And I like Quinn Priester as well. I was on the Quinn Priester bandwagon for a long time. I mean, I don't really know if I am on the bandwagon. I just agree with you. And I think that they do well here. So I lean I lean Brewers for sure. It is fascinating that there is allegedly 88% of the bets and 95% of the money on the under. I would think that they'd set this line up as low as it was yesterday, again, to get people to bet the over because that's what they just saw. But all that money on the under again is very interesting. At the very least this time, you get the 8.5 down to an 8. But honestly, I did lean under. I just don't want to be with all that public money again.
Spooner also made a very important angle that I did not touch on. I should have. This Colin Ray revenge game. I mean the starting pitcher and the bench boss ties to the Brewers are. This is going to have a playoff type feel. God, I'm interested in the first 3 under. Let's hear from Peter Loshak. Take it away. Brewers, Cubbies.
Yeah, this one I'm going to pass on, mostly because I am not exactly sure what to make of either of these starting pitchers against lineups that can hit someone who's vulnerable. Lean Milwaukee though, but pass.
And Jose, are you making anything official here?
I am not. No. I agree with the people taking the Brewers though. I just haven't moved on it.
Shouldn't the Brewers be bigger favorites than this? They're 16 games over 500 at home, playing against a team that's 4 games over 500 on the road. It's been a tiny move from them. Their bullpen has the Cubs bullpen is allowing 3.57 more runs over 9 innings than the Brewers bullpen. I mean, where are the Cubs' advantages? Why are the Brewers not bigger favorites here?
Just offensively, allegedly. That's the only thing I would say they have the advantage in, allegedly too. So, I mean, you're the biggest Brewers guy I know, Jimmy, with all those futures. Or great futures now.
Wow, 4-3 now. Wow, thank you, Coin, for that. That's up. Justin McKelvey on Priest over 4.5 Ks. I just it doesn't this. I would have to back the Cubs in this situation with this market. It makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm going to stay off, but maybe it's a mistake for me staying off. Maybe I have to bet the Cubs here because the Brewers should be a bigger favorite than this. And I've been saying this all year in these types of situations and not betting them. Now, I don't really want to fade the Brewers just because of my own futures, but this doesn't. I won't. Kong just bet the Cubs. This has nothing to do with the Sandberg situation. This is that how are they not bigger favorites? It doesn't make any sense. Now, Priester hasn't been dominant at home or anything like that. AM's going to add the over 8 at -115. Wager said, how did the Cubs lose yesterday after Mizrowski threw 40 pitches? Because they weren't. Boyd did not look good. Matthew Boyd was not getting outs. All right, I'm going to have to decide this. I think that the Cubs are probably a bet that needs to be made, unfortunately. Jared Swishes, thank the Major League Baseball gods that gave me the +3.5. I will definitely let you know. I don't want to bet it, but again, those are the spots that generally you'll have a high ROI on. Peter, do you want to make anything official here for Cubs Brew Crew, or do we move on to Phillies White Sox?
Yeah, no, but I am going to add on Minnesota first 3 +0.5 -170. This one passed. No.
Twins first 3.
What was that line again, Pete?
+0.5 -170. Yeah, we're getting desperate. We're getting desperate. That's
We're just double checking. By the way, Jimmy, you're 1,000% right. Good. Enjoy this season of baseball. Enjoy next year because we are not having a baseball season in 2027.
I'm gonna have to read up on this.
We are losing 100 games. We are fucked.
No way. They'll figure something out.
Oh yeah, those motherfuckers think they can get a salary cap on the players. That shit is not happening. I respect the balls on Rob Manfred to do that as his last hurrah, as his last labor negotiations. Like, you know what? Let me just try to put my balls on the table here and put a salary cap in.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, TJ's right. There's plenty of time. So we don't need to, but let's roll on. Let's roll on to right field in Chicago, Illinois, with Jesus Luzardo going up against Jonathan Cannon. Jonathan Cannon got lit up and smoked at Tampa in his last start. At home, he's been very good, and he hasn't had many opportunities. He's had 6 starts. He's only thrown 26 1/3 innings at home. Compare that to the 62 innings he is throwing. 62 innings he's throwing on the road. So in these home starts, 6 of them, he's only allowed 10 earned runs. He's been very good, very trustworthy. It is lefties that have hurt Jonathan Cannon this season, and there are lefties in this lineup that could hurt him here. Schwarber, Harper, 2-3, Marsh batting 6th, and then Kepler, Stott, 8-9. It's not good. It's not good. It's not helpful here for him. Turnbuckle Tommy says you can't give the White Sox left-handed pitcher in back-to-back days. We did talk about that off the hop, and Tommy is right. These bats from the left against lefties have been raking. Number 1 in Major League Baseball, 287, 859 OPS. And we have Luzardo, who's been dealing with tipping his pitches. He has been much better on the road than he has been at home this year. He's coming off a 9-8 extra inning loss at home versus the Red Sox. That's when he went up against Giolito. They both got touched pretty violently here. The Phillies are hitting righties, 256, 763 OPS, and both bullpens have been pitching very, very well. We have Stacks play of the day number 1 here, and it is the over 9 at minus 104 for our guy Justin McKelvey.
Stacks, 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 stacks.
Shout out to our guy BJ in the house. Great to have you here. Very interested as always in your action today. Wager Detective says White Sox again. Big Zo says 9 miles per hour wind blowing to left center. Let's take another look at the wind here at Rate Field on the south side of Chicago. 86 Fahrenheit, feels like 92, 5.4 miles per hour in. Dies down at 4.5 miles per hour. Ballpark Pal has Rate Field as plus 5% overall, plus 29% home runs, but minus 21% doubles and triples, and plus 1% singles. The TJ special is on TJ's card, which of course means the dog, first 5 plus a half. And AM is on the under 9 at minus 120. So I really don't agree with the over at Love movement here, but we will see what happens. He is projected to 8.1. Shout out to our friend Kristen Hess in the house. Let's get into the line history here for this one. On the money line, these Chicago White Sox are plus 153. It's been a massive move in their direction. Plus 179 to plus 153. The Phillies gone from minus 202 to minus 167. Massive, massive move towards the Chicago White Sox. Massive. When we get to the total here, we have a 9. It's minus 108 to the over. This opened up at 8.5, minus 113 to the over, and quickly moved to 9. And now it's slightly juiced to the over at 9. When we get to the cash flow for White Sox, Phillies, little interleague action, we have 69% of the tickets on the Phillies, 74% of cash on the White Sox, 61% of tickets on the over, 75% cash on that over. Molly Mouse says another over here. Luzardo hasn't been good at all. Jose Bouquet, why are we not on the White Sox first 5? And just before you come in on this, or first 3, just before you do, let's just quickly touch on the price difference here at 365. The White Sox are plus 150 now, full game, a huge move towards them. And first 5, they are plus 150, intimating that there is no advantage with Jonathan Cannon. And why would there be? I mean, his numbers are very similar to Jesus Luzardo. Take it away, Mr. Bouquet. Floor is yours. Southside Chicago hosting the Phillies.
Yeah, you just read why I'm not on first 5. I will be on full game Chicago White Sox here. So shout out to Turnbuckle Timmy, I believe his name was. Turnbuckle Tommy. There you go. I even started one of your comments, Tommy, to bring it up for here. He said you're going to give the number 1 team against lefties another lefty 2 days in a row after what they just did to Sanchez, a guy who's been virtually unhittable. Yeah, I love the Chicago White Sox here. So I agree with him. On him full game. The line has not moved first 5, so that's a little scary. And I looked at the bullpen rest advantage. The Phillies have that as well. I mean, they're like just none of their big guys have thrown in quite a while. Strom and Kirkring are both going to be available. Even shitty Jordan Romano is going to be available over there. White Sox back-to-back days with their closer. Allegedly, they have a closer by committee according to Fangraphs, which just means they all kind of suck equally. So whoever's healthy, whoever's rested is going to go out there and throw. So I'll roll the dice there, and I'm going to take the Chicago White Sox full game plus 155.
There shouldn't be a big advantage here, really. I guess, like with the first 5, like it shouldn't be that much cheaper, should it be? I mean, Cannon, Luzardo, I mean, it seems like it's kind of a draw. Now we're saying that the White Sox bats against lefties should give them an advantage, but I'm surprised you're sticking with full game after talking about how the Phillies bullpen is so strong. Why is that, Jose?
Because the full game's line's moving and the first 5 line isn't. First 5. No, I see first 5 line has just been minus 170, minus 180 Phillies, and it just stayed there. So I see the full game line moving. I've got to bet the full game. You know, I get that it's, you know, the bullpen situation is definitely a concern, but if that's the line that moves, that's the line I've got to bet.
And it's not because the first 5 came out after. Let's just take a look at. I mean, let's just see if it's because the first, where we used to play poker, the first 5 came out at 11:14 p.m. Here, It came out. Sorry, so at 11:54 p.m. on the full game. Yeah, you're right. Okay, it was only plus 167 by then. Interesting. Okay, interesting. Let's hear from you, Mr. Loshak, Phillies, White Sox.
Well, yeah, it was White Sox or nothing, and it still is. Although I'm very scared of fading Luzardo, but he has very high volatility, so definitely would like to take a dog line either which way here. If I was going to take the White Sox, I'd probably sprinkle a little on some kind of, first 5 minus a half, or if I wasn't getting charged too much for it, or like full game minus 1.5 or something like that, an alternative run line. Numbers do it does seem like Luzardo is just either like tipping his pitches or not in any given start. So I kind of like Luzardo over 6.5 strikeouts as well. It's just hard to statistically. I'm seeing that Luzardo has a good start, but even if he has a good start, White Sox would still be the play at the current line and opening line.
That's a lot to think about. Why is the White Sox not? I've got to study this a little more. I do like the White Sox first 5. I do like Cannon to bounce back here.
I personally think this is going to be a first 5 Phillies win, and then the White Sox get to their bullpen. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if me personally just quietly watching this game live bet the White Sox again sometime during this game, because
where is the statistical backing to that? The Phillies bullpen.
Oh, it's just market. It's all market, yeah.
Okay, because the Phillies bullpen's been better than the White Sox bullpen over the last 30 days. White Sox bullpen been excellent, but Phillies bullpen's been top 5 in the league. And then you have a fresh Phillies bullpen compared to a somewhat used White Sox bullpen.
And yet the line moves a shitload. I forget how many cents exactly it's moved, but it's shocking that just bet percentages wise, there's 73% of the money on the White Sox here, with 30% of the tickets. Math guy. I'm just shocked. You'd be shocked at that number, and the fact that it's still moving with the White Sox here full game makes me feel like someone in this Phillies bullpen is fucking it up tonight.
Okay. I've got to look at it longer, but I think the White Sox first 5 will quite possibly be on my card. Let's roll. And then one last question, Peter. Your numbers have Luzardo having a good start.
Yeah.
So with the way the White Sox have been hitting lefties so hard, how do you get there?
It's just based on his strikeout numbers and his recent starts, kind of an overreaction to the market. But you're right. It's and then just a small sample size for the White Sox hitting recently. But yeah, you know what? I am going to take. I'll take a shot with it. I'll take Luzardo over 6.5 strikeouts minus 101. I might be able to find even a better number, but at very least minus 101. I'll take that.
Yeah. TJ saying they've moved basically to the same price since 8:30 this morning. Yes, a ton more movement full game because real first 5 numbers, without limits, don't come out until 8:30-ish. Okay, I've got a lot to think about there, but I still want the White Sox first 5. But all right, let's roll on. Next up, we have Marlins Cardinals, Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri. We were right to back Sandy Alcantara in the last start. The market told us that he was going to pitch very, very well, and he did exactly that. Didn't allow an earned run, didn't walk a batter over 7 innings, 3-2 win at home versus the Padres. The Padres were dealing with the humidity poorly, talking about it nonstop, whining. On the road, they Alcantara has 8 starts, and he's allowed 41 earned runs. Look, I mean, do we believe these numbers, or he didn't pitch last year for whatever reason? It took a long time for him to get his shit together, and he has it. He has it together. Sonny Gray, on the other hand, now has consecutive home starts, but he got lit up at home, and it was costly. And they won 9-7, but I feel I'm almost certain I lost the bet. Maybe I was on a first 3 under or something. But 5 innings, 11 hits, 7 runs, 6 of which were earned. He got lit up and smoked. I don't know whether to trust him. And we've talked already about the Marlins raking last 30 days, 265, 774 OPS versus righties. The Cardinals are not, 238, 697. And both these bullpens are pitching at elite level. Marlins bullpen, 2.57 ERA last 30 days. Cards, 2.83. I've been high on the Cards bullpen all year and taken some flack for it. Now they're starting to show, that they're quality bullpen. Busch Stadium, we'll go into the weather here at Busch. We have 94 Fahrenheit, feels like 104, 4.5 miles per hour in, dies down at 2.7 miles per hour. You have to think that Alcantara can handle that, maybe better than Sonny Gray. AM has the over 7.5. Says it's all about where the books open this. I have this projected at 9.1. If this opened at 8 or 7.5, I would be on the under. But with the 8.5 opener, I like the over. Take a look at that line history here quickly. We have the money line. Marlins are at plus 143. They opened up at plus 143, so we've had no movement at all. When we get to the total, from a total standpoint here, we have a 7.5, a very low total. This opened up at 8 and dropped to 7.5. I mean, we're just talking an extremely low total. So this is the setup to a T for the first 3 under. You have very, very hot conditions, but overall, the numbers, the Daily Stadium report, say that it's a minus 8% overall. It's the worst stadium in Major League Baseball. You have 2 pitchers with pedestrian to poor numbers on the hill, and the total dropping from 8 to 7.5. So this, and then, I'm surprised here that AM saying, but he said if this opened at 8 or 7.5, he would be on the under. I have this. The only book that didn't open this at 8.5 was the first book to the market, and they had this at minus 125 to the under. Now there's, that's, plus 105 to the over. I feel like this did open up 8 and 7.5. This market should not be as low as it is. This total should not be as low as it is. That makes me want to not only bet the first 3 under, but the full game under. I read it differently than AM. And again, we're complete autonomy on how you want to decipher these lines and these market moves. But this is telling me this is going to be a low scoring game and both pitchers shove. Take it away, Jose.
Yeah, I find this line to be really interesting because of the name brand value of both these pitchers. I would agree it's an under city. The only people that were more happy for Sandy Alcantara's last start than Sandy was the front office for the Marlins, because they're trying to trade this guy, I'm sure. I was a little shocked at how high of a favorite the Cardinals were in this spot too. The line's not really moving in their direction either. But there is, like Jimmy mentioned, 62% of the bets and 66% of the money on the Cardinals. So I stayed off the game. I expected this total to be actually right where it is. So I can see why you're on the under here. Again, it's just 2 pitchers that are like a little bit too name brand for me. I thought personally for your first 3 under, I thought that would be one of those things that you consider there. But with the 7.5 there, and if you look at the numbers, both these guys aren't pitching well. At least Sandy isn't pitching well. I think Sonny Gray has been pretty fine, but I just stayed off the game ultimately.
These pitchers have, Sonny Gray now, his numbers are pedestrian, but Sandy Alcantara has been terrible until that last start. Let's hear from you, Peter. Take it away.
Well, I did do this. Check this out, Jose Bouquet. I did take, the Alcantara outs prop was 18.5 under minus 200, and now it's moved like 20 or 40 cents in my favor. So I don't know what to make of that. I hit it a little bit.
You count that as a win already, right, Pete? CLV win?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I don't care what my overall units record says. Is Sandy going to – okay, he had 1 start. Yes, it was a nice little start at home against a team that can be shut down a little bit. now all of a sudden he's getting 18 and a half outs props. I don't understand. I mean, it is possible that he, is capable of turning a corner at any time to his near Cy Young form, I guess. But I don't know. He had a few nice starts earlier in the year. Did something happen in that last start that makes us think that now he's a different pitcher?
Yeah. I mean, this across the board is everything that's being ridiculously high ROI. Right. Everything here. The weather not helping the offense, the pitchers with bad numbers, the total moving way to the under. I mean, those are the three spots here. But if we go into Alcantara's starts, I mean, you say a couple good starts.
Yeah.
I don't remember any. I just remember him getting destroyed.
He had a few. I mean, he went into Pittsburgh, had a nice little 6-inning shutout start there. He had some nice starts in June.
In June, he had a nice start at Pittsburgh. I mean,
he had a few of them.
In April, he had this nice start in Cincinnati.
I love how these are like the one start of like 20 starts, like 6 innings shutout. That's it. There's the one in fucking 19.
All right, I'm gonna let's do this shit. I'm gonna add on Alcantara under 18 and a half outs, even at the current line. Because if he has a nice 6-inning start, they'll probably yank him. They don't want to ruin his trade value by getting crushed in the 7th or something.
Yes. I would agree. As long they just need to keep this 0 streak up. Right, the better it looks, the higher the trade value. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, AM, that's the difference between us. 8.5 minus 125 to the under and plus 105 to the over is I do not consider that an 8.5 at all. You do, and that's a big difference maker. And there's no, we can both feel that here. So one and done again with the weather. It's blowing in 4.5 miles per hour, dies down to 2.7. It's extremely hot, and we have minus 8% overall, minus 10% homers, minus 5% doubles and triples, and plus 2% singles. The under 18 and a half outs for Alcantara, Pete, was at what juice?
Well, a few seconds ago, I saw 220. Now I'm not really seeing that, but whatever it is, I'm taking it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Huh?
And then J.R. Swish has the Cardinals bullpen 5.31 ERA over the last 20 games. I have them at 2.83 over the last 30 days. So one of us is wrong with our numbers here. Jose, what's the exhaustion rate of both these bullpens?
Let me tell you right now, by the way, just a tiebreaker, you guys, for the month of July, I have the Cardinals at 3.04 ERA, 3.20 FIP. So,
I know. I just wanted
to of course. Yeah. I figured. But for the Cardinals, they're fresh and ready to go. Hensley, Maton, Jojo Romero are their 1, 2, 3, and they haven't thrown in 3 days. Only guys that have thrown is Steven Matz, 15, and Matt Savinson, 24 pitches.
Well, this is a double up spot for me. First 3 under and full game under. Okay, let's. Oh no, where's JR Switch? Don't worry. I mean, we're all. No. It's just a we. Yeah. Don't worry about.
Jimmy, your mic muted again. I don't know why it's muting. That's weird.
I don't know why it's happening.
Yeah, you sound like your mic's plugged in as well, so it's weird. But yeah, I agree with the underlooks here. I mean, it makes a whole lot of sense with these two pitchers. I think I'm a little worried about Sandy, but Cardinals offense is not something I'm too worried about. So I hope you do cash indeed, Jimmy.
Yeah, well, we'll see. It'll be very, very interesting here. We'll see how it bangs out. Okay, let's roll on here, but that is a spot I'm attacking. Let's roll on. Next up, we have 8:10 p.m. Eastern, Washington Nationals at Houston Astros. Here we're at Daikin Park in Houston, Texas. Wait, you know what? Before I say that That might have to be a 2, right? Let's just see what that price is in that Marlins. I mean, a 2 seems ridiculous, but it's going to have to be a 2. I mean, let's just see. So very quickly, and again, 365 does screw you with these. Yeah, it's minus 150. It's going to have to be a 2. First 302. I mean, that's nuts. That line is absolutely bananas. And I guess I will have to bet it. Okay. Dougie Wise, free bands played a Nats +1 at minus 130. Also took you on their money line at plus 122. And you are not alone in this one because we also have, oh no, yes, it's Mr. Belvedere. Mr. Belvedere is on the Nationals plus 123. And the chillest here is on the Nats money line 3-unit play for him.
Whenever you say you are not alone, Jimmy, I always think of your lovely rendition of Michael Jackson.
I try very hard not to sing it.
I think it's beautiful. It really puts me in a nice place when you do.
Well, it's going to be a shitty situation for you right now because okay, let's roll here. We have Nats, Astros, Soroka versus Jason Alexander. Alexander got lit up and smoked, and yet the game still went under. That was the Severino Alexander start. It was a fascinating cap, an absolutely fascinating cap. TJ says all the Soroka trade talk today. Don't be surprised if he's scratched late or pulled after an inning or two. That's very interesting. It says I would recommend a hard pause when considering Washington. It's interesting because I wanted to back Jason Alexander. So let's talk about whom do we trust? We trust the Houston Astros brain trust. We trust their brass. They picked up Jason Alexander from the Athletics. He has his first start at home since being acquired from the Athletics against the Athletics, who know him, and they touched him. They touched him pretty violently. Why wouldn't he have a better start here? Why wouldn't he? I feel like we have to trust the Astros in this spot, but let's see if we can do that because I'm willing to do that if the market helps or supports it, I should say. This total is an 8.5. It's minus 110 to the under. This opened up minus 106 to the under. 4 cents of movement towards the under. And then on the money line, we have the Houston Astros at minus 130. They open up at minus 149. So, no, I can't bet them under these here, but I wish I could. I wish I could back Jason Alexander in this spot. Going up against Soroka, coming off a nice start, 5-0 loss at home to the Reds, but it wasn't on him. He allowed 1 run over 5 2/3. He's been okay on the road. Righties struggle against them. Struggle against them. 180, 541 OPS. Lefties hit them hard, 250, 793 OPS. So let's take a look at this Astros lineup because we do know there are some big left-handed bats unavailable, but they do have Trammell. They have Caratini, who's a switch. Jacob Melton. I mean, at this point, this Astros lineup is so weak. Why wouldn't we take both the Mariners and the Rangers to win that division? How can they possibly keep up with them, Jose?
Well, you know my position on the Rangers in this division. There are preseason a future of mine about with them winning this division. I mean, I'm sure I could get better right now. My local just doesn't have those odds available every day. I got the Rangers plus 165. They're absolutely better than that, obviously now. But I still think the Rangers are right there, vying to win this division. I know I get it. I know that they're a few games back, and right now they're battling with the Red Sox for that last spot in the playoffs. But did you see their run differential, by the way, Jimmy? The Rangers' run differential is absurd for how bad their offense has been. They think they're plus 76, something like that. Like one of the best in baseball.
72. 50 runs better than the Mariners.
And their offense has been horrible all year. It's been dog shit. And shout out to Dabby Cab because when I see him starting to bet Corey Seager is when I know Corey Seager is starting to hit well, and he's starting to do it. And Seager's starting to come out of his fucking coma. But that was crazy to me when I saw that. Just insanity. Because again, their offense all year has just been terrible. And imagine if they just go out there, they acquire a bat or two, they can get some players out of their first half comas. Their pitching is great, and then they need a reliever or two as well. Obviously, everyone does. But yeah, I agree. I think Rangers are a team for me.
The Rangers are plus 550 right now to win the division. Mariners are plus 260. This Astros lineup, I mean, I know they're playing over their heads, but let's talk about this spot here. A clear move towards the Nationals. I really wanted to back Jason Alexander here. I won't. Jose, are you going to move on this one?
Yeah, I have to. It's the same situation as we just talked about with the White Sox game. I just racked my brain there for a hot second to remember it. But yeah, Nationals plus 122 it'll be officially on my card. TJ, great note about Soroka. I clicked Soroka must start in this game, especially. I typically do that for any one of my bets, but this one especially because if Soroka does get traded, then that would suck. But it does seem like Soroka is going to have a good start here, just based off line movement and market. Minus 150 opener, now down to minus 130, and that was at our friends at BOL. Pennies minus 149, now down to minus 130. And the market is very similar to the White Sox market. 70% of the bets are on the Phillies here, 73% of the money on the White Sox. So, excuse me, I read the fucking Phillies one out on accident. 63% of the tickets are on the Phillies or on the Astros, excuse me, and 76% of the money on the White Sox. So, pretty similar market situation. The line moving that way. Give me the Nationals full game here. And I'll say this. I mean, Jordan Alvarez is on a 60-day. Is his ass ever going to come back? Because without him, their lineup sucks, and Altuve can't do it all by himself. So, yeah, I think this division is very much up for grabs, and I will not buy into the Mariners bullshit for a fourth consecutive year. So, let's go Rangers.
Peter Loshak, Nationals, Astros, Daikin Park, take it away.
Well, I was looking at, obviously taking Washington in some way. Soroka off of a couple of nice home starts. Probably should be good again. Alexander, don't really know what to make of him here. You expect him to be good, Jim, right?
Good, I expect him to be. I expect him to be good. In fact, did we go over that? So keep going. I'm going to go over this total one more time. Keep rolling.
Yeah, I was also leaning Soroka under 5.5 strikeouts, even though Houston is really slumping out right now. And also under 2.5 earned runs for Soroka, and leaning Washington. First half, full game. Slightly under as well, full game.
Yeah. I think this is I think this is an under, but 80% of tickets, 85% of cash on the under. It's crazy to believe that there would be that much money on the under with these terrible pedestrian type numbers. I have a lot of interest in the under here. And now, again, it's hard to trust the Nats bullpen. But yes, I like the under in this game. I think it could be a sleepy baseball game. Jose, what's going on with these two bullpens?
Bullpen wise, let's find out. Houston here. Hader, Abreu, and Brian King threw yesterday. Hader 11, Abreu 22, and King 17. All of them should be available here today. As for Los Nationals here, 10 from Finnegan, 13 from Jose Ferrer, 14 Luis Garcia, and 11 from Connor Pilkington. All available today, and all available today except for Finnegan, who threw 10 on 11. Now, I was going to say Davey Martinez has a history of throwing relief pitchers 3-4 days in a row and not giving a fuck. He is obviously not their coach anymore. I just had to remind myself of that. So, both bullpens pretty rested, but no Finnegan, who, again, is in trade talks this year, Jim, and it makes me laugh that people are buying into the Finnegan bandwagon again.
Yeah, I know he's going to be moved here, and I hope it's not the Jays that pick him up, honestly. But I want the first 3 under, and I think the full game under.
Who do you want the Jays to pick up? Is that a fluid situation?
I want them to pick up Mitch Keller.
Now that would just warm your heart, huh?
Yeah.
You would love to see this picture, just Blue Jays version.
Oh my God, yeah.
That would get you going.
Oh yeah.
Pete, this gets you going, right?
Little bit.
6 to midnight.
Does this get you going, Pete?
Let me see.
Oh yeah. That's the good stuff right there. That's the good stuff. I wonder if anyone else got going when they saw this.
Very avant-garde.
I love
Very
it.
challenging to our assumptions. Yes.
I fucking love it, man.
I really enjoy the pick noises.
I do too. I do too. Yeah, no, it was fun research. All right, yes, I want unders in Nats, Astros. You know, I don't care how low scoring yesterday's game was, honestly. Again, I don't want the problem with these 2 spots that we just talked about, the Marlins, Cardinals, and the Nats, Astros, is I don't want to double up on these unders. But so you know what? I guess I guess it should just be full game unders on both of those instead of the first 3s. God, I'll figure this shit.
Oh, we lost you again.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna. What the hell?
Refresh.
I don't know what the hell keeps dropping here. Not used to that. Okay, I'll
hit a refresh on your browser. Maybe we'll see if that's it, and then unplug and replug your mic.
Okay, why don't you set us up for Rangers Angels? I'll be listening.
I will. Let's go to Rangers Angels here, and again, talking all that kindness about the Rangers. They've got to put it together on the field here, and I'll just go strictly, and we'll just jump right into batter versus pitchers and righty versus lefties here for both these squads, as they both are lefties going against each other with our 2 friends, Patrick Corbin and Yusei Kikuchi, 2 guys that I've grown very fond of in the last year. They've grown on me very much here. Pete, I know you love some Patrick Corbin as well here. Los Angeles Angels against lefties in 191 plate appearances this month. They are 105 weighted runs created plus, while Texas and their horrible offense sits at 25th, 75 weighted runs created plus for Los Rangers here. Market in this game, we have 55% of the bets and 77% of the money on the Los Angeles Angels. Under bets being taken here. 55% of the bets are on the under, but 72% of the money on the over here. Maybe some people betting overs for nostalgia here on the Texas Rangers and the Los Angeles Angels. Because like I said, these 2 pitchers used to be gas cans, and they've kind of turned themselves both into serviceable starters here. This line opened up at an 8.5 at Penny. This is now a 9 up there as well, which is fascinating to see. And as for the money line markets in this game, we have a minus 123 opener at Penny, now minus 121. At where we used to play poker at, they opened up minus 116, opened early, as we all know, and that is now moved to minus 125 there. So not really much movement here. If anything, it's moved back towards the Texas Rangers here, which is fascinating because, again, this Rangers offense is horrible, especially in the last month against lefties. If we cut it down just for curiosity's sake, if we cut it down from the 13th to the 29th here, Texas 70 weighted runs created plus and 141 plate appearances. So just still not any good. Oh, Pete's landline ringing. There he goes. Oh, there he goes. Someone's calling him a telemarketer. But I generally now have leaned towards not wanting to fade Patrick Corbin here and my guy, Yusei Kikuchi, who I hope Ella is enjoying his Angels renaissance. Corbin, his last few starts, 5 1/3, 1 earned run, 5 2/3, no earned runs, 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 6 innings, 2 earned runs. And that was against at the Padres, at these aforementioned Angels, home for Detroit and home for Oakland. So there's just very impressive run of starts there. For Kikuchi, let's check out his last few starts to see if he went against the Rangers. He did. 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs in that start against the Rangers. He's been kind of up and down, 2 earned runs in his last few. So a little bit of a worry there if you are an Angels backer here. And it's been a little bit of time since that happened. That was at the beginning of this month for Kikuchi. And for Corbin, he faced them on the 10th. So I don't think the back-to-back zigzag theory is that much in play here. I do lean Texas Rangers. I have not moved on anything official yet here. Jimmy, what do you have to say about this game?
It's the same total as that last Kikuchi start against the Mariners, against Logan Evans. Made no sense to me that it was a 9. You know, Logan Evans was going up against an Angel lineup that suited his splits. Kikuchi's very tough to get to at home. And there were 6 runs scored in that game. Why has this gone up from 8.5 to 9? I'm not going to sit here and say, well, I know better than the market, so I'm not going to move on it. But it made no sense to me in his last start. We knew that the Angels were exhausted. They had played the day before in Citi Field, New York. And, you know, here, AM saying the value was on the over 8.5, said wouldn't be interested in the 9. I'm shocked that it's turned into a 9. You know, Corbin has been much better at home. So I think he is vulnerable on the road. We know that the Angels are hitting lefties much harder than the Rangers over the last 30 days. Angels 256, 744 OPS compared to the Rangers 202, 641. So I don't know why the Angels aren't bigger favorites. You have a Rangers team that's 9 games under 500 on the road. Maybe they're just playing really good baseball and people are just, you know, believing in that. But Kikuchi should be a bigger favorite than this. And it's, you know, you could say, okay, I could get past it. Let's say, you know, let's say there's only been a couple cents, 1 cent move to the Rangers. The problem is this opened up at 5:31 p.m. at minus 123. By midnight, this was a minus 112. So I'm not going to say that the market's wrong for moving this from 8.5 to 9. I'm also not going to say the sharps are wrong by moving on the Rangers. TJ says Jansen unlikely to go. He's on LA first 5. That makes perfect sense to me. First 5 makes perfect sense. Okay, so we're saying that it's the Rangers bullpen that's, you know, about a run and a half better over 9 innings over the last 30 days than the Angels bullpen. So then, what should the price difference be on the Angels first 5 here? So we got here at 365. They got the Angels minus 130, and first 5 should be too expensive for me to bet. It's no difference. It's minus 130. So. This is no action at all for me. Peter Loshak, anything you want for Rangers Angels?
Well, first of all, I am going to add Soroka under 2.5 earned runs minus 150. I'll add that one. I bet it at a better line, but it's moved a bit. I'll take it. A little risky, of course, but I'll take it. Let me see. Hold on one second. All right. So this one, yeah. I mean, my numbers say Corbin is it's a little bit of a vulnerable spot for him. His outs prop is surprisingly low, and Kikuchi's outs prop is surprisingly high in light of how they've done, of course, past bunch of starts. Doesn't make sense. Corbin's outs prop was 15.5. The over is plus money, and Kikuchi was 17.5, which, if you look at their recent starts, doesn't quite make sense. So I'd love to take a shot with the Angels here. I'm not sure if I can get to it, pull the trigger, but I would love to take a shot.
And TJ's right. It is 7 or 8 cents more expensive. I'm looking at an offshore right now that has it 7 cents more expensive. So, but I don't. It doesn't make sense to me. A capper like TJ, baseball's his bread and butter. He'll go out and claim this is wrong, and I'm going to take advantage of it. For me,
TJ likes what?
TJ likes the Angels first 5, which makes
not
perfect
full game.
sense. Not full game.
Okay.
But I get that. I mean, the Rangers bullpen be much better than Angels bullpen over the last 30 days. And you have an Angels bullpen where Jansen's unlikely to go. So from an X's and O's standpoint, it makes perfect sense. You guys know, for me, I need things to correlate a certain way, or I just can't succeed long term. So.
I mean, that's what I was thinking. I might go with that. little Angels first 5.
El Dorado saying, what is Peters over 2.5 Ks? That was, I believe, Tanner Gordon. Am I right?
Yeah.
Tanner Gordon
You know,
over 2.5 Ks.
that's risky, but his strikeouts have improved recently. He is expected to have a full length 5, 6 inning start. So I took a shot with it. I got 160 for my bet. Had to take 170 for the show, but whatever.
Let's roll on, fellas.
I'm on the Rangers officially plus 114.
Really? Okay.
Full game.
I'm going to take the Angels first 5.
Yeah, you guys can have the first 5. I'll take them full game.
All right.
No Kenley obviously makes me feel great.
JR Swish also on the Rangers money line. Let's roll on to Mets Padres. On Medicaid Monday, as I said, the Padres were the best bet on the board. When Vientos hit that grand slam, not only did I not bet the Padres plus 3.5, which sucks, but I was just so devastated that I had to get up and go outside for a bit. It's the first time I'd been outside all day. Then the Padres put up a 5 spot in the bottom of the 5th and cash my man TJ's Padres first 5, which I was so excited about. And I'm not entirely sure what to do here. We have Sean Manaea on the hill for the New York Mets. He's had 3 starts, and we'll go over all of them. But let's first go over the weather here in San Diego. We have 71 Fahrenheit, feels like 71, 7.2 miles per hour left to right, slightly in, dies down to 5.4 miles per hour. Let's take a look at Ballpark Pals expectation here of Petco, minus 6% overall, minus 2% homers, minus 4% doubles and triples, minus 7% singles. Let's get into the line history here. We have Burgert and the Padres at plus 112. They opened up minus 103, 15-cent move away from them, 14-cent move towards the Mets from minus 107 to minus 121. Interesting. So a big legit move there towards the New York Mets. From a total standpoint, we have an 8, minus 115 to the over. This opened up at 8.5, minus 114 to the under. So we have a move towards this under, not a dramatic one. Let's call it maybe a quarter of a run. BJ says Arise brought life to that team when they couldn't hit shit. He got the train rolling last night. As always, underrated bat. For me again, and I've only said negative things about him for years. It was Machado. Machado again got hit by the pitch, stole second, created all of everything was done with 2 out. Machado has been impressing me. The Padres are playing with fight right now. And Chilla says, look out for the Padres to win the NL West. Their issues on the road are real, but I hear what you guys are saying. Let's take a look at this line history. Peter, we have the total dropping. We have the line moving towards the Mets. Sorry, so let's take a look at the cash flow. From a cash flow standpoint in this National League battle, we have no information on the total. We know that 50% of the tickets and 59% of the cash is on the New York Mets. It's a pretty big move towards them. TJ says Machado's turned into quite a leader. Agree. I've been astonished at what he's been saying, and he's starting to a tiny bit win me over here. Robert Franklin on the Mets money line. AM on the under 8.5. So projected at 7.8. 7.8. And Dougie Wise just moving on the Padres, plus 109. Manaea's had 3 starts, and only 1 has come on the road. That was his first start of the year, July 13th. He went 3 1/3, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 7 Ks, no walks, 3-2 loss to the Royals. Came back 5 days later at home and allowed 1 earned run over 4 innings, struck out 6. His strikeout numbers have been way up, and Spooner explained why that is. Different pitch mix this year. I can't do the explanation justice, so I won't, but Spooner did break it down perfectly. Then we have great splits for Manaea as well. And look at this. With the new pitch mix, righties against Sean Manaea are hitting 158 with a 554 OPS. That's mind-boggling. The Padres are smashing lefties, 299, 799 OPS. Maybe smashing is the wrong term, not with a ton of power, but hitting them well. Mets versus righties last 30 days, 247, 759 OPS. We have Ryan Burgert on the hill. His last start was July 11th. Before the All-Star break, went back to the minors for a cup of coffee, and he's back. He allowed 2 earned runs. They were both solo shots in the 4-2 win at home versus the Phillies. Here he is at home again. He's pitched in 3 games. He started 2. He's gone 8 2/3. He struck out 12 in those 8 2/3. Walked 5. And he is getting lefties out very easily. Righties are hitting 236, 759 against him. And the Mets bullpen is starting to pitch better. We've been watching it pitching better, even though last night wasn't the best example of what they did in the 5th inning. But those were all the runs that were scored in the 5th inning. No other runs were scored the rest of the game. Padres bullpen's been very good. Peter Loshak, Mets Padres, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very impressed with how Manaea has done. I've been on his strikeouts prop since he's gotten better, even though he's not going deep. I don't know about this one here, though. I do like Bergert to get over 3.5 strikeouts, even though that's a high line. And lean to the under, but not exactly sure. I didn't do my deep dive into this game yet, into these last 3. But, yeah, numbers like under, Bergert to get those strikeouts. And I might make the Bergert one official. I
like the under. The only concern is what the Padres are doing against lefties, but maybe I should let that concern go. I kind of like the under and the first 3 under as well. Jose Bouquet, take it away. Mets, Padres.
Yeah, I'm sure you mentioned this big line movement towards the Mets, but it's more, and according to looking at Pinnacle, it's more like the pitchers got announced and then it moved to like -120. Instead of like where we see on the website we're looking at, it opened up at -105 each way. That's at where we used to play poker. But at like 8:30-ish, it just jumps pretty much to -120. Penny, the same thing. It opened up -107 New York Mets. And at like 8 a.m.-ish, it goes up to -120 just kind of immediately. So that feels like more of like pitchers getting figured out, announced more than line movement because of bets. So I stayed off the game. I leaned on Mets though, just based off that.
Jose, can you did Berger? What did Berger do in his last start? He must have started in AAA because he hasn't started since the 11th. But I don't know if he did. Did he not go back?
Yes, he did. He pitched on the 22nd. Nice little 4 inning. Well, it wasn't that good of a start, but he still got his 4 strikeouts in 4 innings. But, had some walks, which is an issue of his. Gave up a couple runs, 4 innings. Not a great start.
Yeah. 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs. One of them earned 4 Ks, 3 walks.
Yeah, maybe this is a dangerous spot for him. The strikeouts are high. Maybe this is a tough spot for Bergert. Maybe the Mets go right back to their winning ways. Remember, this team, 4 games under 500 on the road against a team that's 14 games over 500 at home, and yet this line's moving towards the Mets as favorites. I mean, the market is telling us that the Mets take care of business. Why are we questioning it?
Padres are 5th best against lefties, 121 weighted runs created plus this month. A little more scary. But I like Sean Manaea.
He just shut down the Angels. The Angels versus lefties, 256, 744. So not as good. So you're right.
I mean, that's just, I definitely lean Mets with you, just obviously throwing out some potential bugaboos. So just to go over the lefties they've touched up, and honestly, it's not like they have not really done damage to any of them except for one guy, and I think we all know why it was. So I'll go through them real quick. Matthew Liberatore, 4 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 2 runs cross. Mackenzie Gore, 2 1/3, 8 hits, 8 earned runs. That's the only one that they really dominate, and there's a little more familiarity there with Mackenzie Gore, obviously. 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs against Mitchell Parker. 7 1/3, 6 hits, 1 earned run against Christopher Sanchez. 6 2/3, 7 hits, 3 earned runs against Ranger Suarez. Eduardo Rodriguez, 4 innings, 4 earned runs. Patrick Corbin, 6 innings, 2 earned runs. So it honestly just feels like it was that one Mackenzie Gore blow-up start that was on the 20th of July, and that's been the only starter they've gotten to. And again, I'll say it for a third time, Mackenzie Gore, a little more familiarity there. So I'm kind of leaning more and more towards the Mets the more we talk about it.
I'm going to bet the Mets. Moving
I
on.
am too. Are you going to take him? First of all, I'm definitely going to take the Bergert strikeout prop, though. But you're going to take the Mets full game or like first 3, first 5, something like that.
You're right. You're right with the way the Padres bullpen's been pitching to probably find that first 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
but the first 5's minus 145 at least for me. Now in full game minus 123 at least for me. That's crazy.
First 3 just minus 135.
Wow, I have no difference.
What?
None.
You have minus 120, minus 130 first 5?
I have minus 130 full game, minus 130 first 5.
God, I'm getting fucked. Well, I'm going to bet the minus 145 now because I'm an asshole, but I'm getting fucked.
I'm not. I don't know if that's the right risk reward here. Honestly, for the bet, I think that this might. Let's just see what it would cost. This might be a.
I mean, I know you got all the books in the world at your disposal, but
that's a 365. That's not a good book.
Fuck, my local just take me to goddamn cleaners.
The Mets double results very cheap. It's not worth it.
Now, just looking at the difference first 5 full game, for me, it just feels like, again, just take the Mets first 5 and don't avoid the Padres' fearsome bullpen that we've talked time and time again about.
It's looked really good. And there's no concerns with the fatigue?
I'll tell you right now.
Wow, that's crazy. You know what? I got to bet this first 5 on the Mets right now, money line. I'm getting 12 cents better than other books. Why would that be? It feels like this is like a rare mistake here.
Yeah, TJ, I just saw TJ's comment saying 10 to 15 cents, or should I say 15 to 20 cents more expensive first 5. Jose, your book is in line with yeah, like damn. Just first 5, that's crazy. By the way, bullpen situation. Robert Suarez 16, Adam 13, Morahone 18, Jeremiah Estrada threw 1 pitch. Those are obviously the guys that you are worried or you're looking for in this Padres bullpen. I expect all of them to be available, and Robert Suarez blew a save, got the win yesterday with that home run he gave up to Mauricio, I believe it was. So, be careful with him. But Jeremiah Estrada should be ready to go here, especially with only 1 pitch. So,
okay,
it's scary, but I don't hate a full game look if people are looking that way. But I'm going to take first 5, and I'll lay the juice.
Well, I'm going to bet this right now. So I'm going to bet the minus 130 first 5 and leave it at that. That's crazy.
Pete, what are you on officially?
Definitely taking Bergert over 3.5 strikeouts, but I'm also going to take the Mets. Just deciding between first 3 and first 5.
Fair enough. First 3, first 5. What about you, Jimmy? Obviously, you're moving on first 5 here, but did you think about first 3?
No, no, and I'm not. I don't want to have too much, and I don't dislike it. I mean, what is the? Sorry, let me just lock this in to make sure that it doesn't move here. Sorry.
No
I'll
worries.
just take the first 5.
Okay.
What are you getting on the first 5?
Pete is on the first 5, so we don't have to worry about that first 3. We guilt tripped him into it.
What number are you getting on the first 5, Pete?
Best line at the books I'm checking here, 142.
What the fuck?
Wow. I just bet to minus 130.
That's okay. Hey, shout out to Bet 365.
Minus 140, I see here.
Wow. And I'm signed in. Like this is all. Okay, Jose, why don't you set up that last game? I'm just gonna get this in here.
Yeah, let's talk about Pirates Giants.
All right, so then I'll take 130 for my official record also then, right?
Definitely.
Of course.
Fucking take it, Pete.
Hell yeah.
Pirates, Gigantes here. Justin Verlander versus Bailey Falter, a lefty I like here. And we have been fading Justin Verlander pretty mercilessly. The one start we did, the market was screaming that Verlander was going to have a good start here. We'll dive right into the market situation here. We've got 66% of the bets on the Giants here, but 56% of the money on the Pirates here. Some people fading Verlander as well. However, we have a minus 154 opener for the Giants at Penny, now minus 163 there. So that's very interesting. A BOL minus 155 up to minus 163. 3. So it's fascinating to see this line move towards the Giants. Obviously more bets on them, but bigger bets on the Pirates. Totals wise here, we have 62% of the bets on the under, 88% of the money on the under here. That total has not moved at all, minus 110 to the 8. It's been kind of jumping up and down juice wise, minus 113 to the over at one point, but coming right back down to minus 110. Let's talk about Giants against lefties. By the way, Rafael Devers is playing first base now, and he looks hilariously bad at it. So shout out to him. At least he's trying, but it looks very funny. From the 13th to the 29th, the Giants have only 97 plate appearances against lefty, but 89 weighted runs created plus against them. So not particularly good either way. If you want to extrapolate that to the full month, they are 74 weighted runs created plus against lefties. That's 26th best in baseball there. So extremely bad. And for the Pirates against righties here, and I'm very interested to see how the old man attacks this young lineup. Pirates against righties, dead last, 59 weighted runs created plus in the month of July. So I just cannot get to either side here. I want to fade Justin Verlander more than I want to back him here. Minus 165 just seems too expensive here. Nasty, I cannot extrapolate for you, but I can use it in a sentence, and I will also be passing on this game here. Mr. Bag, what do you have to say about this?
Well, I guess I'm not surprised. Maybe I should take that back. The Giants aren't hitting lefties at all. The Pirates aren't hitting righties. It was an excellent start that Falter had, bounce back start for him. He's been great on the road all year. I think that both pitchers pitch well here. I think that Verlander, finally. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on with my mic today.
Interesting. You might have to check, I guess, the connection from the mic to the computer now.
I did that already, I guess. But
so that was that.
Well, I'll hammer through the rest of the show and do it once over at the end. But I think that this is a very big line on Justin Verlander. A big line.
Telling.
He's going to pitch well. And I don't see why Falter wouldn't shut down the Giants who aren't hitting lefties. And neither team's hitting right now. So I find... Say what, my man?
I was going to say, is that a first 3 under cooking I smell?
Yeah, but more involved. I want to back the Giants here and back a Verlander.
-1.
I think this is a game where I think it's calling for an investment. I'd also, so we know also that the Pirates bullpen has been really good. No, it's been okay, better than average, and the Giants bullpen been bad for the last 30 days. So I'd be very interested to see what this price difference is. Shout out to all you guys cashing on the Orioles, man. I love to see it. I should have been with you. But we have the Giants at 365 or minus 170 full game, and first 5 they're minus 150. It's wild. Which also then tells me that this is going to be a low scoring game. Did we touch on what's Ballpark Pal have this here today for Oracle? Minus 5%, which is lower than usual. Minus 23% home runs, minus 5% singles and minus 5% doubles and triples and plus 10% singles, which means if we go to Swish, it must be blowing out pretty heavy. 10.7 miles per hour blowing out. Yeah, I think both pitchers pitch well here. AM is on the under 8, says projected 7.3. I think this is a first 5 under, full game under, and Giants -1. But
by first 5, he definitely meant first 3, guys. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, shit. Sorry, first 3 under, full game under. My fault.
We're not allowed to bet those anymore, people.
And I've only bet 1 all year, and it was an accident. I just my subconscious was just still trying to put another fucking sharpened chopstick in my larynx. The first 3 and full game unders for me, dude. But then, should I have a concern about the bullpen here? Is it because the Giants bullpen certainly not pitching well, and are either bullpens dealing with fatigue here, Jose?
Let me tell you right now. By the way, Pete, while we're talking about this, I'm going to need you to extrapolate here in a moment. Camilo Duvall, 16 pitches, and Carson Seymour, 48. Only guys who threw yesterday. The rest of the guys should be ready to go. For the Pirates, on their side here, they went David Bednar for 32. Doubt he's available. Dennis Santana, 11. Isaac Madsen, 14. Genesis Cabrera, 19. And Johan, I should say, 37 pitches. I mean, they have a lot of people back there. They still have Cameron Mlodzinski. He threw 40 pitches. Probably still isn't available. Braxton Ashcraft, Caleb Ferguson. But I don't expect Bednar to be available after throwing 32 pitches.
What do you think, Pete?
I had a good call on Verlander a couple of starts ago to not bounce back. The last one was good. I skipped that one. This one, as of right now, pass. Didn't look into it deep enough to. Obviously, I'd be leaning Pittsburgh here at the dog line. But
Pete, can you spell extrapolate?
EXTRAPULEIGHT.
Was that right? I don't know.
No, that wasn't right at all. He was right for the first half of it, and then he just mailed it in. It's an easy word to spell. There's no hijinks in extrapolate.
Okay, go ahead.
First three under. First three under, and I don't know if I want to double up here, but I'm not against it. And then at this point, though, do I really have an advantage on the Giants -1? It hasn't moved that much. Maybe I should only focus on the unders. I'm not sold anymore on the Giants full game as much as I am on the first three under and the full game under, which is what I will be attacking here. That would mean that there's 3 spots of double ups first 3 full game. And I think I'm going to go through with the double ups. 3 is enough for me to be okay with it. And that's the plan here. So let's roll on. Shout out to JM here. Yes, Robert Cherry's got it. Shout out to our guy JM saying the thumbnail is fire. Shout out to the creation on that. It looks great. That is our friend Jose Sweet Tits Bouquet. 10:05 p.m. Eastern, our last spot on the board. Seattle Mariners 57 and 50, 29-26 on the road at Athletics 46 and 63, 20 and 32 at home. We're at Sutter Health Park in Sacramento, California. This is tied for the most offensive ballpark, offensive conditions. 87 Fahrenheit, feels like 83, 8.9 miles per hour at the center, dies down at 8 miles per hour. Ballpark Pal has this at plus 16%, tied with Great American Ballpark, plus 30% homers, plus 4% doubles and triples, and plus 7% singles. We have Logan Evans on the hill. Logan Evans gets hit hard by lefties. So he's coming off a start at the Angels where all they have is Sean O'Well. It was the perfect opportunity for him to have a good start, and he did exactly that. This is not Butler, Kurtz, Soderstrom, Cortez at a minimum. This is not as easy as his last start was. This is, in fact, going to be tricky, I think, for Logan Evans, who has pretty good numbers, but a lot of them have come, in that pitcher's ballpark. This couldn't be further away from that pitcher's ballpark at Sutter Health Park. On the road, he's had 6 starts. He's allowed 16 earned runs. He's not been very good. 6 of his 9 home runs he's allowed on the road, and opponents are hitting .323 against him. And he has back-to-back road starts where we know it was perfectly set up for him to pitch well last out. Going up against Luis Severino, who turned it on at the Astros. He turned it on. He's been bad at home all year. Is he going to turn it on again? He wants to get traded out from Sacramento, and he certainly looked worthy of that. I know his contract's terrible, and as Jose mentioned last week, he's going to say yes to that player option that comes up in a couple of years. Lefties hit him harder than righties, and we look at this Mariners lineup. You got Crawford, the lefty. You got Raleigh, the switchy. Naylor, the lefty. Polanco, the switchy. It's tough because you have Canzone and Young at the back of the lineup. This is probably not a good situation for him as well. Both teams are hitting righties hard. Mariners 252, 755 the last 30 days. Athletics 250, 794. The Mariners bullpen 4.02 ERA last 30 days. Athletics 3.36. Athletics bullpens look pretty good. Both bullpens stepped up yesterday in a nice low-scoring game. Will it happen here? The Athletics are plus 105. They opened up minus 102, now plus 106. So there's been a move towards the Angels, slight. And then when we get to the total for this one, we have a 10.5 minus 110 to the over. Open up minus 107 to the over. It's only 3 cents of movement towards that over. And when we get to the cash flow, we have 57% of the tickets and 77% of cash on the over. 55% of the tickets on the Mariners, 67% cash on the A's. Jose, do we trust Luis Severino to go out there and pitch well again?
I do not. No. Now I can see why the total is a 10.5 in this game, because I don't want to back Logan Evan on the road against, and you just mentioned all those guys that could hit him there. And this A's offense has been, maybe it's just Nick Kurtz, I don't know. But, and by the way, Nick Kurtz is apparently just Jim Thome 2.0. And now we'll see how his career goes, but good God. But, you know, I was just a little worried at this line opening up at minus 108, now up to minus 114 at Penny, and kind of the same story, you know, BOL minus 110 up to minus 114. You mentioned the market. I'll just do it again here. 67% of the money on the A's and 55% of the bets on the Mariners here. I mean, if it was that case, if it was, you know, wanting to be on my radar more, I should say, the line would hopefully move a little more towards the A's. And I wanted to bet the A's in this game, but moving away from the A's will end up having me stay off, because I don't want to try to enter a slugfest here, like I think it might be. So I stayed off. But the A's were my first lean here, and I could see how people are betting the Mariners. And yes, Jimmy, you did call me sweet tits.
Oh, no. What's wrong with me?
Jimmy, Pete, you heard that, right? He called me sweet tits.
Sweet tits, just straight sweet.
Just straight sweet tits. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And by the way, this isn't the first time either. I just let him slide by, but yeah, sweet tits.
Oh, fuck. I'm ashamed of myself. Feel awful. Feel sick.
Good.
Peter, what's your move here? Let's get the.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't trust either of these starters. I think I'll definitely take a run in the first, yes, and a few batter props. Maybe Soderstrom, Kurtz. Maybe have some lefties for Seattle. Definitely take run in the first, yes, and maybe like a first 3 or first 5 over as well. I don't know, but yeah, a few bets on the starting pitchers to not do so great.
Yeah, I think Logan Evans is going to start pitching poorly. I really think that we should fade Logan Evans here. And if Severino is a question mark, because I think he could pitch well, the market's not, you know, telling us that he will. Actually, they are 15 cents more expensive. 15 cents more expensive are the A's first 5 here at 365. You know, I think that's telling. I think that that it's the A's first 5 spot here, and that Severino can carry over that good start here. I think he can. Higgsy, though, is on the over 10.5. Says don't overthink it. Runs galore. And that was what.
Please don't overthink it. / what are you guys, idiots? Plays are very strong. Pay attention.
They are.
Yeah,
so I think Logan Evans gets touched. I would prefer to focus on the A's team total over, but that kind of gets me in trouble when I do that. But I'm getting a 4.5. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the A's first 5 A's team total over. I'm in business. Then who cares what Severino does? I'm fading Logan. So there we go.
By the way, here are the sweet tits that they talked about. Jimmy just talked about. Those are the sweet tits. The aforementioned sweet tits.
Yeah, let's wipe that slate clean, man. We don't need that in our mind. These are the tits we need to be thinking about.
Oh, I thought I was looking at a different set of tits in my head. Some ones that excrete milk.
No, we've. I don't want to hit that too many times. We've hit it too many times. Yeah. Let's go. And Higgsy says, get those RBI props going. It does hurt both of these splits, but I'd like to. If Severino really wants out and he throws another gem here, but I get it. I could be getting too cute on this one. Let's take a review of all action here on Loshak and the Bag. Thank you guys for rocking with us. We have WNBA next with our guy Brizzy. So let's review action. Congratulations for those of you that moved on the Orioles in game 1. I'm going to go through at the end of the show all of the action from our cappers in the chat. I will tell you that Taint play today is Atlanta, Kansas City under 9.5. So Rockies Guardians is no action for me. In fact, there probably won't be action for me at all on those early games. I start with the Dodgers, though. I'm going to be on the LA Dodgers today. And then I have interest in the Twins early, backing Pearson Ole against Giolito. And is that going to be a first 3? I'm not entirely sure. I've got question marks around it. I got to spend a little bit more time on it. You know, the Cubs, the market's telling us that the Cubs should be bet. And as much as I only have futures on one team, Major League Baseball, and that team being the Brewers, I think that I will bet the Cubs. I want to study it a little more. Higgsy says Sevy hates pitching here. It's in his head. 3 runs in the first innings. Guy's an emotional mess at home. Yeah, you're probably right. Maybe I'm being too cute focusing on Logan Evans.
I'm gonna join Higgsy. I'm gonna take the full game over. Makes a whole lot of sense. He's completely right. He's been bitching about the home conditions forever. He's gonna suck at home. Logan Evans isn't gonna be good. We'll just get runs. So I'm with you now, Higgsy. Minus 115 for me.
If I had to change it, I would. If I didn't take the team total, I would take the first 5 over. Because I like what Day's bullpen's been doing of late, but I'll spend some more time on it. White Sox first 5 does have question marks around it. Let's get into my double ups here. Marlins, Cardinals first 3 under, full game under. Nationals, Astros first 3 under, full game under. Then I have only bet I've already made is the Mets first 5. And then the Pirates, Giants first 3 under, full game under. So 3 double ups there, and then a double up in the Mariners A's total. That is my action. Jose Bouquet, your action, my friend.
Yes. For a lot of the show, I was like, God, it doesn't feel like I have any action here. And then I turn around and I'm like, oh, I have 6 bets now. Well, that's fun. But I've got Red Sox money line minus 117, White Sox plus 155, Nationals plus 122, Rangers plus 114, Mets first 5 minus 145, and the over in Seattle, Oakland, Las Vegas, Sacramento, over 10.5 minus 115.
I like it. Peter Loshak, before we are joined by Brizzy. He's not backstage yet, but I'm ready to attack the WNBA card all the same. Peter Loshak, your MLB action for.
All right. Hopefully it'll be good. Got a lot. Tanner Gordon over 2.5 strikeouts, minus 170. Rockies first 5, plus 172. Freed under 18.5 outs, minus 135. Vinny Pasquantino, 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, minus 140. Boston, Minnesota, first 3 under 2.5 at plus 100. And Minnesota, first 3 plus a half at minus 170. Luzardo, over 6.5 strikeouts. I found plus 110. It's headed down. That might have been a mistake, but whatever. Alcantara, under 18.5 outs. My bet was at minus 200, but I had to take minus 239. Best bet I could find. Best line I could find at the time. Soroka, under 2.5 earned runs, minus 150. LA Angels, first 5 money line, minus 128. In the San Diego game, Bergert, over 3.5 strikeouts, minus 170, but also Mets, first 5 money line, minus 130. And then the Seattle A's game, running the first, yes, minus 133, and first 5 over 5 minus 149. And I want to put in some player props and RBI props as well, but not sure if I'll have time to shop around. But yeah, like an offense there.
may your baseball action be blessed by the baseball gods, all of you. Let's get into WNBA. We have Brizzy has messaged me today too, so I expect him to be in, but I'm ready to attack. You guys know I was falling apart. 7 straight winners, Peter. 7 straight winners.
Shit.
Yeah, and my record is still poor. As all our records are poor, except for yours, Peter.
I'm up a half unit or something. Yeah.
You are the lone plus on the board. Now, look, I've been embarrassing. I have learned something very important about the WNBA, and that's that unlike in the NBA, these teams do not step up without their star players. And I was told that, and I was still being tricky like I do in NBA, trying to find those spots, being tricky, and it crushed me. It absolutely killed me. I gave myself 20 units. I said, if I lose 20 units, then I will quit and stop. And now I've cashed 7 straight. Very nice. I want more, and I get it. And I feel like that you can simply attack this sport, and I'm ready to do just that. Let's roll, Peter, and here one look from Brizzy if he's going to be coming here soon. Yes, there he is. Speak of him. And he comes into existence. I'll set this up while he's getting his camera set up. Let's roll, Peter, my friend. Oh, by the way, what I was saying was that, of course, Brizzy's having a good WNBA season. It's just not here as much. And he says that he will also be in the black by the end of the season. I believe him. So, look, we are not proud of those records, and we're going to fix them. Without further ado, please welcome the star of the Locker Room Talk podcast and all things hooping here on Pub Sports Radio. Our guy, South Jersey, in the house. Please welcome Briz Marquis. Brizzy, what's good, man? How are you?
Doing good, man. I wasn't on stream with you yesterday for Medicaid Monday, but we're ahead of the steam. We said we wanted to back the Dallas Wings for a little bit. I backed the Dallas Wings last night. Paige Beckers had her girlfriend sitting courtside, and that was like the cement. Hopefully that gets the ball rolling here for us this week.
Yes, I think that it can and may. We also have Stacks play today off the hop here, and it did surprise me. The Valkyries +8 for the Stacks play of the day. And I say it surprised me because Valkyries lose Kayla Thornton for the year. These teams, when they lose their star players, show no fight at all. Valkyries coming off a complete embarrassment, their loss to Connecticut. And Justin backing them here. Shout out to our guy, Justin McKelvey. Stacks play today, numero 2.
Stacks.
There has been a lot of talk about the pay us what you owe us, and Steve G saying $40 million in debt this season. At least someone profits off the WNBA. One thing that I don't understand really why it's not being mentioned by people who are backing them up, but their franchises are becoming infinitely more valuable. So yes, they're losing money each year, but their franchises are all becoming more valuable, and they're skyrocketing in value. I'm not saying pay them what they're anything like that. Yes, they're losing money year by year, but come on, when they sell their franchise for, a 2,000% increase in value, and I don't see anyone talking about it for some reason. But let's roll. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. The Golden State Valkyries 11-13, 3-9 on the road at Atlanta Dream, 50-10, 8-3 at home. We're at Gateway Center in College Park, Georgia. Let's get into the line history. I'll hand it over to Loshak, who will then hand it over to Billy Brisbane, our WNBA expert here. We have the Valkyries at +8 at -104, Atlanta -8, -112. This opened up at 8. Since it opened here, there's been 6 cents of movement towards the Atlanta Dream. From a total standpoint here, we have a 155.5. It's a low total that's been getting lower. It opened up at 157.5 and has dropped to 155.5. When we get to the cash flow for this spot, we have 67% of the tickets on Golden State and 51% of the cash. 70% of the tickets on the under and 92% of the cash, and we see it dropping. AM on the over 156.5 says he projects at 158.9. Says line moved away from me, but I disagree with the move. Valkyries coming off that 95-64 loss at Connecticut on Sunday. Second game without Kayla Thornton, who's done for the year with the knee injury. Now, I know it was one thing that it was also dealing with a Kayla Thornton injury, but it was Connecticut +6 was easy. The double result I almost bet, and it was would have been an alarmingly beautiful payout, but it was very difficult for Golden State to start their road trip off with a 1 p.m. Eastern game, 10 a.m. their clock. I mean, it was just set up for them to get destroyed.
The injuries, though, Jim, you talked about it. Kayla Thornton was one of their most impactful players. Monique Billings is questionable. Veronica Burton, we don't know the status of her. It's like the Golden State Valkyries team that we fell in love with. That's not the same team right now.
You're absolutely right. Now, Burton did put up 10 points in the loss. Rupert led the worst. She went for 13. It was their worst loss in franchise history. So, look, I want to fade Golden State. But the Dream finished off their 3-game post-All-Star break road trip with their second straight win, and it was an extremely impressive 90-86 victory at Minnesota on Sunday. Ended the Lynx season-opening 14-game home winning streak. Brittany Griner went for 22. So, Peter Loshak, I want to fade the Valkyries badly, but I can't back the Dream after that phenomenal performance in Minnesota. So what do we do, Peter? Are you moving on this one?
I mean, I'm going to listen to you guys break this all down as far as personnel is concerned, but not taking personnel into consideration. Got to be thinking Valkyries first half. Come on. Plus the points.
What do you think, Brizzy?
This is an angle that we're going to have to talk about throughout the whole entire theme of the show here for the WNBA. It's hard because it's like I don't want to overthink this one, as the Valkyries have been one of the best ATS teams in the WNBA this season, 14-10. But on the road, they've only gone 3-9, and I don't think people really noticing the injuries on their injury list. It feels like every time you watch the Valkyries injury report, there's another name added to it or another person added into the rotation. Atlanta, they've been kind of chugging along here with a really successful end to their road trip. They had a 6-game road trip where they kept up float without Ryan Howard beating the Minnesota Lynx. That was their first home loss of the season. They don't count the Commissioner Cup final as a regular season game. The total might be the play, though, as teams coming off a 5+ game road trip are fucking terrible ATS-wise, 11-18. And that is the angle that I think I'm going to get to the window with here is I think that the Dream cover. I just don't think that they start off hot, if that makes sense. Of like the Valkyries have the best first half ATS record in the WNBA. I think the move here is, which is tricky because I don't like betting these type of things. First quarter team total under for the Dream, 20.5 points. This total is just getting steamed towards the under here. I believe it opened up 158.5 down to 155. If that is true and we are following the market, the first quarter score could be like 17-15, and we're all fucking licking our chops and moving on to the next game. I like the first quarter team total under a lot here. I feel like that fits into the theory. Team coming off a long road trip, first game back. But something tells me that Golden State's going to cover this first half. Their coach is one of the better coaches in the WNBA. She's going to try to have them locked in. And if they're going to be locked in defensively, I think that the only advantage that we have as sports bettors here is playing around with some of these team totals here, either first quarter, first half, full games. I think the move ultimately is to bet the Atlanta Dream live, and that shit goes to a pick'em.
Yeah, I completely get it. I completely get it. Oh, it's a clear Valkyrie spot, Justin. I completely agree. But I've watched over and over and over again these players not step up when their star players are hurt. Over and over and over and over and over again. And I'm finally making money off of it. After losing money, getting crushed in the first half of the year, I've won 7 straight. So I'm going to not join you. I won't fade it, but I'm going to leave this alone. So, Pete, is there anything you're making official here?
So you're saying, Jim, that it's not like in other places, NBA, where whoever is going to play on Golden State today is for at least a half going to come and deliver and not necessarily win, but be competitive.
What we learned in the difference between the NBA and the WNBA is like the backups for the NBA are really not that bad. Like they Drew Holiday's out, Peyton Pritchard's a more fine, serviceable starter, but the drop off between Kayla Thornton and Rupert is significant.
Okay, we're gonna take first half under 76 or so. I'll shop around for the best line.
Your first half unders have been very successful here, so I can completely. I get it. So we'll see what Loshak does. Our last show together, and then I went on this run after it. But the last show, the only winner I had was the first half under with you that you were on last week. So Loshak looking at the first half under in Golden State, Valkyries, Atlanta Dream. And yes, Pete, they don't just lose by the spread. They lose by 30.
Right.
So I get this first half under as well, but it's a very low number. And are the Valkyries going to step up? And if they do, will it be offensive or defense? All right, let's roll on. Let's go. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Now, I could have bet the Mystics minus 6.5 as soon as the line came out. But my thoughts were that Angel Reese could play. And what if I get a better line? The line moved to 7.5 before the show started. I messaged Brizzy. I'm like, what, is Angel Reese not going to play? And Brizzy replied, Angel Reese was at shoot-around, participated in the open portion of the media during Tuesday's shoot-around, and he says, yes, 100% she's playing. So then why is this line not then moving at all towards the sky? Maybe because it's not official yet? Brizzy, is that it? When it's official, will this move a point or a half point towards the sky? Or sorry,
I don't know if you've noticed, but the Sky have lost their last 5 games by 13, 37, 23, 38, 15. There's no way that if you're doing any research or anything, that it's just gonna lead you towards the Washington Mystics. But I don't think this game is really according to the X's and O's.
The Sky played better against the Fever. I was on the Fever minus 9.5 before Angel Reese was announced out. When Cardoso and their starting 5 are in, they're playing pretty well, and they would bring it into a 5 or 6 point gap. Then they would have to put in their bench. Remember, we already lost Vandersloot. The losses keep coming and coming. Now they don't have the. So now they don't. Now Angel Reese was back, but they didn't have, their best their best playmaker in Vandersloot. They lost their leading scorer, and then they lose their leading rebounder in Angel Reese. Rachel Banham went for 6 threes and 26 points. I mean, I just don't see how that could possibly happen here again. So yes, they played better against the Fever. The Mystics are on game 4 of a 5-game post All-Star break. I love them coming off that 16-point loss to the Mercury. One and done, says Sky wins guaranteed. I'll be betting against that. But good luck, one and done. Shakira Austin went for 20 for Washington. They beat Seattle the night before. Melbourne and Citron had 13 apiece. So I'm not even with Angel Reese announced. Like, is this 7.5 the best I'm going to get? Is what you're saying? It's never going to get better, even when they announce Angel Reese is in. Brizzy?
Angel Reese is in. I believe they posted that on WNBA Underdog.
And so, looking at this here, we've had no move. So Angel Reese not worth anything here, not worth a single point. Mally Malik in Washington first half. Peter Loshak, sorry, I didn't go through the line history, and let me do that here very quickly. I did do that spread, but I haven't talked on the total. This total is at 156. It's minus 112 to the over. This opened up 157.5 and it's dropped a point and a half to 156. And then on the cash flow for this one, we have 58% of tickets, 71% cash on the Mystics, 72% of tickets, 89% cash on the under. Peter, anything that you're looking at?
Unless I hear different, gotta be Washington first half, agreeing with Mally Mal. Not sure if I'd want to take the -4 or whatever, or the money line, but Leaning Washington first half for sure.
I looked at that double result as well. It was minus 160. I mean, it's not that much different. The Fever double result when they were, 9.5 was minus 190. Again, these are at 365. Take it away for us, Brizzy. We are all ears.
Yeah, I think this is the pick of the day here. There's some recency bias here in the game here. The Sky have been god-awful. 7 straight non-covers, 3-10 on the road. They lost their last 5 games by 13, 37, 23, 38, and 15, failing to reach 70 points in 3 of those games. The Mystics have been a fresh breath of air this season, but they're starting to become overvalued at the window. Their strong start of the season has inflated their numbers tremendously. They'll be in the 4th game of a 6-game homestand, but they've lost 3 of their last 4. They've gone 2-0 versus Chicago this season, but I bet on both of those games. The first game, I took the Washington Mystics money line minus 200. They were getting fucking smoked in that game. I have no idea how they came back. They came back from like 20 plus points down, ended up winning that game outright, and I ended up cashing that. One of those minus 200 that you didn't feel good about after cashing. And then in their last meeting was the Camp Day game. And fucking Washington, I took their team total under 84.5. And that was a dog fight. The Sky should have won that game. I have no idea how the Sky did not win that game. This spread's way too far. I'm going with Chicago Sky as the best pick of the whole entire card today. I think they win this game outright, if not pretty damn fucking close to it. I like the Chicago Sky plus 7.5. Was waiting for that Angel Reese news. Was kind of scared that the line would fluctuate a little bit, but I think the non-line movement's telling you everything you need to know. The Sky are live as fuck. If you look at the Sky's record and their recent form in the last month, this is the Dallas Wings Liberty angle that we talked about yesterday. There's no fucking secret that the Chicago Sky are fucking 7-18 this year, one of the worst ATS teams in the last month. But that's how you make money on the WNBA, is taking the teams that nobody wants to bet on. Nobody's thinking about taking the Sky here. I think the Sky are live as fuck. If you just look at the matchups of like Shakira Austin down low and stuff like that. Like the Sky have Camila Cardoza and Angel Reese in the lineup. I don't think the guard difference is that big of a difference where it's been like that in their last couple of recent games. I mean, like Indiana, they got smoked. Seattle, they got smoked. Minnesota, they got smoked. Atlanta, they got smoked. But you know what the common theme is? They all have really good guards. I don't think Brittany Sykes, she's legit. I'm not shitting on Brittany Sykes. I just don't think that Brittany Sykes is the girl to just bring Washington over the hump to the promised land here. I think Washington drops another home game, and then we back them on Thursday when they play the Valkyries.
Wow. And
by the way, full game, I like Chicago as well. I'm just talking about first half for Washington.
Wow. I don't. Do we – so with the Dallas Wings, we had Paige Beckers coming back after the – sitting for the game, coming off the terrible loss. It was just set up perfectly for us. Ariel Atkins is still out, but that you're saying that Sky have enough scores without Atkins doesn't matter?
Yeah, they actually signed Sevi. I'm going to jack up her name. Sevi Eugen. She was the starting point guard for the Dallas Wings last season. Pretty good depth to the roster there. Nice little veteran. I wish you can go through the history. Where the fuck are the Sky? I mean, when the fuck are the Mystics laying 7.5 points in a WNBA game? I feel like that's gone way too far.
Wow. All right. I've got to see if I have the conviction here. So, Brisby, what are we making official for you?
Plus 7.5, minus 106, Chicago Sky. To be honest with you, let me look at what this number is, because as much as I like the Sky, pussy mode, you take 10.5 and you sprinkle the money line is kind of how you get in here.
And then, Peter, are you also going to be backing the Sky?
No, I mean, I was leaning Washington first half, Chicago full game, but I'll hold off.
Well, I expect, you know what? I've got to see if I have the conviction to back the Mystics. And, that's all. We'll see if I do. I've got to, God, these teams just have no heart whatsoever. And Angel Reese coming back.
Yeah, I watched those first two games way too fucking closely, and I felt like it was highway robbery. Like the fact that I'm 2-0 in these games for the Sky Mystics is like it probably should be 0-2. Like there's no way that I just don't. If you watch those games from start to finish, the Camp Day game and then the first game, I just don't get how you could just pop up a 7.5. It just feels like they're just looking at stats, and stats don't really matter when shitty teams are going to play shitty players. I think the Sky are going to be locked in for this one.
Yeah. I mean, Errol Atkins played 34 minutes in game 1. 10-7 is 10.7 assists. I mean, she didn't play very good in that 79-72 loss. And then in the 81-79 victory a little earlier, that was a game where, Atkins didn't play very well either. So, okay. All right. Well, I've got a lot to think about here. A lot to think about. Chang, what's happening, my man? Yes, we will go over all our action here at the end of the show, Chang. And there's a lot of stuff that we like very much. Let's talk about our final spot on the board, fellas. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us here. Pub Sports Radio. Loshak in the bag every Tuesday. We got Billy Brisbane, the star of the Locker Room Talk podcast. We also have two of the stars of the show in Mills, as well as just my 2 cents in the chat. Predictions guy in the house. Look at that, Pete. Predictions guy. Oh, gee, Lowbagger says, man, I've been away for too long. And he says, loving the Jesus look, Pete.
Thank you.
Predictions guy. God, it's been so long, man. I hope you are well, and it's wonderful, wonderful to see you in the chat. Let's talk Aces, Sparks, Crypto.com arena in Los Angeles, California. I got made fun of for telling you guys that the Sparks had turned it around. I got made fun of by people in the chat saying that I don't know, what I'm talking about. They have been a nice part of my 7-game winning streak. Now, also, look, Stewie getting hurt 3 minutes in obviously helped. Look, I'm not saying that didn't help. But the Sparks are playing good basketball. But there are some issues here. We have Brink making her season debut tonight. Is that being confirmed that Cameron Brink is making her season debut, Brizzy?
Yeah, but I would imagine she's going to be on a strict minutes limit. But wheels up, though, for the Sparks. Might not be today, but wheels up for Sparks fans out there.
It's funny. This is a real coin flippy situation. The Sparks have won 5 straight. They won all 3 of their games on their road trip, post All-Star break road trip, culminating, of course, in a 101-99 victory at New York on Saturday. Action Jack says Sparks are locked in. AM is on the under 172.5, says projected at 167, says pretty surprised to see his total skyrocket, but we'll see what happens. We're going to go over this line history in a second. Sparks are just 3-8 at home. This is not a team that's been succeeding here. The Aces on the final game of 4-game road trip. They're coming off a 106-80 victory at Dallas on Sunday. So they're finishing a road trip. I don't want to back a team finishing their road trip, and it's been a long one, cross-continent. And then we have a Sparks team coming back after sweeping their road trip. I don't want to back them in that situation either. So I don't want to back any team here. We have the Sparks +2 at -111. They opened up +2.5. That doesn't tell the whole story. This did get up to +3.5. It was +3.5 from 6:30 this morning up until 7:30 this morning, and then it went down. This also went all the way down to 1.5 about an hour and a half before the show started. From a total standpoint here, we have a 174.5 -111 to the under. This opened up at 173.5, and it got up to 175.5. It was 175.5 up until 20 minutes ago when it dropped a point to 174.5. When we get to the cash flow here, you have 60% of the tickets and 83% of cash on Las Vegas, 86% of the tickets on the under, but just 60% of the cash on the under. Peter Loshak, anything you're looking at here?
I was thinking got to be looking at over and probably LA.
Yeah, it's and so Pete, there's no concern sweeping the road trip and coming home?
In terms of the total or in terms of the spread?
No, in terms of the side.
Yes, definitely.
Let's hear from you, Brizzy.
Man, the headline for this game is really the return of Cameron Brink, which adds a major spark to the Sparks front court depth there. They have been one of the best offensive teams since the break. This is going to be their first home game out of the break, but the Sparks remind me of like the Knicks, if that makes sense, of like that Madison Square Garden problem where everyone comes out to LA, and for the women's basketball, LA and Vegas are like the two big spots on the West Coast. And everybody comes into LA and wants to show the fuck out. And one thing that we didn't talk about is the history between these two teams. De'Erica Hamby, Kelsey Plum, former Las Vegas Aces players. The whole entire thing with Becky Hammon and De'Erica Hamby is one of the craziest WNBA stories that you ever hear. De'Erica Hamby kind of lied about her being pregnant. Becky Hammon found out that she was pregnant, cut her from the basketball team, and then she ended up suing the Las Vegas Aces. Then you got the Kelsey Plum situation. Plum Dog got her revenge in the last spot in Las Vegas. If you want to talk about the Sparks being hot, the Aces are just as hot. They won 5 straight games as well. They've been red hot. The play, obviously, that everybody's going to be on is the over. The reason why people like the over is because LA Sparks have gone over 17 of their last 25 games, 17-7 and 1, the best over-under record in the WNBA by a wide margin. The Wings would be right up there with them. The Aces aren't too far behind when it comes to defensive rating. Offensively, though, Becky has made decisions that will pay off for the future. Tough decisions, tough choices, and they're winning basketball games because of it. Jewel Lloyd coming off the bench. I mean, the Gold Mamba, she was talked up to be one of the best WNBA scorers. We all thought the Aces are going to be fucking smoking this year with Jewel Lloyd on the team. She's coming off the bench. Kirsten Bell has been on this team for like 4 to 5 years. They have yet to play her. They start her in their last game, and she went the fuck off. And I just like the way that the Aces have been playing right now. They've scored 92 points in each of their 5 games of their road trip. Of their 5-game win streak here.
But Brizzy, they got destroyed by Minnesota. They've lost 2 of their last 3. They lost to Minnesota by 31 points. I faded them against Indiana and had a beautiful cash. They've lost 2 of 3.
2 of 3. My bad.
No worries.
I think the Aces are going to win this game, though. I'm going to fade the public. Everybody likes the Sparks here. 6-game road trip. I like the moves that Becky's making. Jewel Lloyd coming off the bench, playing Bell more, making sure people go. It's just like the tough decisions that she wasn't making in the beginning of the season. She's starting to make now and starting to pay off in the win column. I think that the Aces smashed the Sparks here in this spot.
It's a tricky one for me. Closing up the road trip.
Line movement. The first 2 times that they played, the Aces were double-digit favorites. Now they're at a pick 'em. Fuck out of here.
Interesting. All right, let's grab your Aces action here. Are you taking the spread or the money line?
I'm going to take the -1.5, -114 FanDuel Sportsbook.
All right, we have the Aces for Brizzy. Brizzy. Aces -1.5, -114. A lot of confidence here. Shout out to our guy Johnny Yim in the house.
A lot of confidence.
Johnny, my man.
This is either 2-0 or 0-2. I'll tell you that. This isn't a 1-1 type of slate.
But we have 3 bets, right? Because we have the team total on the Dream as well. You've hit every game.
I'm to be honest with you, I rather bet some fucking AO tennis than be betting in the Valkyrie's Dream game. I'm sorry.
Okay, so the first quarter team total under is not official.
No, but I think that is the angle. You know, team coming off a long road trip. They just had probably their best win of the season, beating the Minnesota Lynx. That seems like the most fadeable first quarter spot.
So we have Aces -1.5 for Brizzy, as well as the Sky +7.5. We have Peter Loshak on the first half under in Golden State, Atlanta. What was the number that you got, Peter?
76 -113.
Under 76 -113. Peter, is there anything you want to make? Yeah, AM, it's a terrible travel spot for the Sparks.
I am hot and sweaty, Molly Mom. I'm funny that you saw that. I had to fucking walk the dog in between this.
No, you're the man, Billy. Thank you for rocking with us, man. Justin McKelvey also on the Sky +7. Wow. It's just a crazy situation here for me to – I don't know if I'm going to have the conviction to go up against all you guys then.
My hot take is the sports books have too much WNBA information now. Like in the beginning of the season, you can kind of go off of stuff that you're kind of feeling and leaning. But now they have so much information that some of these lines that they're popping up are fucking ridiculous in the WNBA as of right now. Like the New York Liberty laying 8 after Stewie is like dead. The Sunday slate was just favorite bonanza. I don't know what they're doing with these WNBA lines. It feels like they're like very computerized numbers that they're just popping up off of just recency bias rather than like the full picture. And this is the time of year in the WNBA where you start backing those shitty teams.
You know, what is more detrimental to a team's success, the final game of a road trip, or they beat New York. It wasn't on the 27th, by the way.
Game of the road trip, but this is a game that they're going to get up for. It's the fucking Sparks. This is like their arch nemesis. There is so much history between these two teams. I wouldn't be shocked if Becky Hammond's still going to fucking court dates because of De'Erica Hamby.
But it wasn't Sunday. It was Saturday that the Sparks beat New York. So they did fly back on Sunday, not the 20. So the 27th was their flyback date. But yes, it's still a bad travel spot. I mean, it's funny the Aces lose by double digits back to back and then destroyed Alice, and that.
Yeah, no Paige though. No Paige Beckers is Dallas Wings without Paige Beckers isn't even a WNBA team.
Okay, because you have a very strong case that you put out for the Aces. Very strong case.
They were double-digit favorites in the first 2 meetings. Now you're getting them out of pick 'em. Like what? What? Like this is recency bias taken way too far. The Sparks beat the Liberty, and now everybody thinks the Sparks are good again. Bro, we was just on this show last Tuesday, and me and Stacks were talking about how we're about to take the Connecticut Sun against the Sparks, like because that was like the angle of like the public perception of the Sparks has completely changed in the last week.
Very, very interesting. Okay, I've got a lot to think about. Peter, is there anything you're making official for Aces Sparks?
Everybody's hyped. Cameron Brink's back in the lineup. She's the hottest girl in the WNBA. That's their first round pick from last year. They just came off a big win. They just beat the Aces in Las Vegas. This is like, I don't know, man. They could be playing on fucking Venus, and I'd take the Aces in this spot.
Oh, it's an argument that I'm going to sit with for a while here and makes sense here. Peter, is there anything you're making official for Aces Sparks?
Yeah, it might be too obvious, and I might be just super sucker, but I'm going to take first half over 86 or so. I'll shop around for the best line. First half over 86 or so. And before we wrap up, I've been looking at a lot of batter props from that Seattle A's game, and there's a few I want to add officially. I'll just mention.
I only see one flat 86. Oh, no, I see a couple minus 110. I don't see anything better than that.
86 minus 110. I'm still going to shop around.
Cool. All right. Very, very, very interesting here with Brizzy with a bullish take on the Aces. And I get it. It'd be fun to have action on it. Brizzy, thank you for all that you do for us. What is on schedule for Locker Room Talk?
Yeah, Locker Room Talk podcast. We're going live tonight. Tatsura Taira taking on Hunsung Park. First time 2 Asians are fighting in the main event. And then Friday, a.k.a. tomorrow, me and Jerry are going to go live. PFL. If you're in the tri-state area, New York, PA, New Jersey, come down. PFL fights Friday night. And the one thing I like about the PFL, oh my God, dirt cheap tickets, bro. $44 is what I paid to get inside the building for a nice little seat on Friday night. You're probably paying more in gas getting into Atlantic City than the ticket itself. You want to go pull up to see some of your favorite personalities at Pub Sports Radio, either on panel or from the chat. Come pull up Friday night, Atlantic City, Thad Jean, Logan Storley, main event, $500,000 on the line.
I love it. And we have a breakdown coming out here on Pub as well, right?
Yes. The breakdown will be Wednesday. I'm going to have to hit up somebody. We got the camera working. We're going to try to get some videos down there. Hopefully we can get some fighter interviews and stuff like that. Then the montage part, I ain't really good with the montage part, but I'll take the L and hold the camera, be the camera guy.
Respect Brizzy. So we have a ton of action tonight, live Locker Room Talk podcast, Tuesday night. Wednesday night, we have the PFL breakdown, and then Friday, roll with the squad in Atlantic City. Brizzy, thank you for all that you do for us and making time for us. It means a ton to us. Any last words for the Capper supporting the show?
Yeah, a lot of I hate to be the guy because Jao fucking got smoked yesterday. Don't take an 18-year-old. Is what I'm starting to learn. But big tennis tournament going out there in Canada. WTA is kind of like the meat and potatoes of the slate. And the pick that I was really liking for today, either as a parlay piece or figure out how you kind of want to finagle it, is Coco Gauff. Coco Gauff is playing Danielle Collins, I believe. Danielle Collins. Coco Gauff got fucking smoked at Wimbledon in the beginning of this month. She probably one of the biggest upsets in like Wimbledon history. She lost in the first round of the tournament, declined playing in ATP Washington last week. She said, fuck no, I'm getting ready for this WTA Montreal moment. And they're not giving her the most easiest of matchups, but that creates a good opportunity for sports bettors, because usually when you see the first round in matchups of tennis tournaments, they're usually like fucking minus 1,200, minus 800, minus 550s. But Coco Gauff, really good line tonight. I think she's going to beat Danielle Collins.
And Brizzy, just before you go, for our guy Chang Kim, if we were doing a friends and family parlay, you would be giving us the Aces money line?
If we did a friends and family parlay, I'd probably give you Coco Gauff on the money line.
Coco Gauff money line? Okay. Yeah. So Coco Gauff money line for the friends and family. Brizzy, thank you for your time, my man. Respect and love, and I'll be in touch. We'll get you back on this week. Need you.
Yeah, hopefully we can get to the window here. Big cash. July was a very slow month for me, but looking to bounce back in August. We got some goodies coming up in August. Preseason football is coming up. We also have the big stuff that's going on out there in Euro. We're going to have to definitely throw in the breakdowns. It's going to be a lot of your favorite NBA players, your Nikola Jokic's, your Luka Doncic's, and the way that Luka looked on the cover of that men's health thing, Slovenia might be a back for us.
Yeah, I was surprised to see how in shape he was. Our guy, Billy Brisbane, in the house. Peter, friends and family, Brizzy with Coco Gauff money line. What is your addition to friends and family for our friend Chang Kim?
Oh, geez. Wow. I'll say Seattle A's running the first. Yes.
A Yorfie in Seattle Athletics. Yorfie. We have Jose back in business with us. He's just putting on his headphones. We will hear Jose's action here. So without further ado, back from the home studio, Southtown 101 in San Antonio. Your addition to friends and family, Jose.
Give me one moment.
While you are putting it together, I'm going to review all action.
I got to run, Jim. So let me just tell you the player props that I'll add for the Seattle game.
Sure.
All right. I should probably add more, but these are the ones that I will take, and I'll shop around for slightly better lines. Soderstrom 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs about 145 or so. I'll take Kurtz 2.5 at minus 115 or so, and Rooker RBI at like plus 140 or so. And then I'll take Naylor 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs minus 150 or so, and Arozarena 1.5 at minus 135 or so. And I probably should add on a few more, but I'll just stick with those for now. I'd love to take Crawford at just minus 160, but he's been really stinking it up, hasn't he, this in July? So I'll hold off there. And that's it. That's it for me. Okay.
Much love, Peter.
Thanks
we will
so
see
much.
you a week from today. Much love, my man. There he is, Pistol Pete Loshak. Friends and family for Justin McKelvey is the Valkyries first half +4. Let's do a quick review of all action here. Stacks play today, number 1, Valkyries +8. Stacks play today, number 2, Phillies White Sox over 9. Big Daddy Boom on the Mets money line. 9 Legacy flank stake play today, New York Yankees. Spooner on the Cubs, Royals, and Tigers. Mr. Belvedere on the Nationals. He's also on the Aces. And Coco Gauff, Seattle Athletic, Yurfee. Brizzy with Coco Gauff. Loshak with that Yurfee. And I've got to get my action in now. I did move on that Mets first 5 minus 130 out of curiosity. Did they decide that was the wrong line here? Let's just see. Mets, Padres. First 5 is no, it is available minus 130 still. Okay. Alec Dirk says Philly Yankees parlay should be money tonight. So Taint play the days Atlanta, Kansas City under 9.5. My card gets started with the Dodgers, and then the action starts coming in. I have to decide with the Twins first 3 right now. I'm going to spend some more time with the Cubbies. White Sox first 5 I find interesting, and then unders first 3 in full game on Miami, St. Louis. Again, I'm going to go over all the numbers and make sure that they continue to correlate. The first 3 under 2.5 in the full game under in Washington, Houston, as well as the Mets first 5, and then the first 3 under in the full game under in Pirates, Giants, a possible bet on the Giants, and then the A's first 5 in the A's team total over. Maybe I take heed the advice from Higgsy and move on the first 5 over. I'm going to make those decisions now. Got to figure out if I have the conviction to go up against everybody on the sky. It's possible. It's very possible that I do. And I am leaning towards joining Brizzy and Mr. Belvedere on the Aces full game. It makes sense. I'd like to fade what happened in the Sparks trip, even though it was richly rewarding. And so I'm going to look at my best bet here. Jose, review your action and tell us your friends and family.
Yes, I was actually trying to put together friends and family right there. My friends and family bet will start there is the Washington Nationals full game money line for me, which is obviously a bet I have here. Boston Red Sox minus 117, White Sox plus 155, Rangers plus 114, New York Mets first 5 money line minus 145, and the full game over 10.5 minus 115 in Seattle, Oakland there. So I'm actually putting together friends and family right now. So shout out to you, Justin McKelvey. I'll put it together. I'll put yours in there as well. And anyone else want to shoot theirs, I'll gladly put them in there. But I think his was the Valkyries.
First half, though.
All right, beautiful. What's yours?
I am making that decision right
I can't put Pete's Yurfie in there, so I'm putting the first 5 over for him in that game.
My bet here will be wow. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to end up on the Cubbies with Ray. I think I might be better off leaving that one alone. So let me just, and then we have that total being so low in Alcantara Gray. Let me just quickly look at one more thing here. Now 7.5. God, look at that. I mean, it's just flying towards the under. Okay. Mine is the Miami St. Louis full game under.
7.5.
Yeah.
All right, beautiful. So I believe Christ, I have to put it all back in. Could you read it back to us here in a moment?
Wow. Okay, I gotta make. It's gonna be a fun night, man. The week is started. I know that Medicaid money gets my week started, but I only had 4 bets yesterday. It's gonna have a major investment tonight, so we got to go out there and get that cash. The friends and family is Coco Goff money line, Seattle Athletics, Yurfie Nationals money line, Miami St. Louis under 7.5, and the Valkyries first half, courtesy of our guy Justin McKelvey. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Dumb Dap Lady. Thank you, Alec Dirks. Thank you, Millsy. AM, thank you for all the hard work that you put in the chat too. It means a ton to us. Big Zoe, great to have you back in business with us. Mally Mal, Young Native Tino, Big Daddy Boom in the house. Jason Meyer, the Eldorado custodian. Jermaine said it's so hot. He hasn't even commented in an hour. Respect, Jermaine. J.R. Swish saying, for real, it is hot out there. Stay cool and hydrate. Nate Cerna, thank you. Jerry Davis, Mr. Belvedere, Thank you guys for rocking with us. Action Jackson in the house. Jonathan Yim, ready to get to work. Slow Jams, Arsenal. Thank you guys. Truly, truly. Thank you. Predictions guy, wonderful to see you back in business, man. OG low bagger. Let's get this money, man. Let's get this cash. Nasty Nate, Redbeard. Thank you guys. A lot to talk about. Happy Gilmore too. I don't even know if I'm bother watching it, man.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny, but I enjoyed all the cameos. I'm sure other people didn't like it because of that.
Yeah, I don't know. Alec Dirks, I'd take that under in Miami, St. Louis, man. That's what I do.
By the way, just one more time, friends and family, Miami Marlins, Cardinals under 7.5, Nationals full game money line, Mariners, A's, Yerfie, Golden State Valkyries +4, and Coco Gauff money line there.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Great to be back with you guys. A huge show tomorrow featuring Wine Time Sports. Jose, my friend, lead us into the future. Leche us, and let's go out there and get that cash.
Let us indeed here. I have to put my bet in. Sorry. So I'd like to get this in before my computer dies, which is going to be very soon. All right, there we go. 25 to win $437. Let's have a night, gentlemen. Let's have a night. Indeed. Shout out to all you guys in the chat. Shout out to you guys that are members. Thank you, everyone, for watching every day. Let's go out there and make some money in Leche, a Los Bookmakers.